Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all platformers, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, E3 2017 special, finally here, off the record. It's not part of the normal fortnightly podcast. This is an exclusive, much like E3 was for the most part. I am the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ferret.
And I am Ace.
And we are bringing you a, hopefully not too long, but judging by, well, I guess you guys will be able to see how long this podcast actually ends up being for the most part, just by that, hopefully not too horrific length in the actual, video or download link, which you will be able to download this. But I'm not really going to be doing links to every single trailer because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think I'll put the names of everything we talk about in the description. But as I found out last time, for those who are familiar with this podcast, as I found out last time with the end of the year podcast, I can't list too much in the description because it stops you.
Yeah.
It's actually limited, which sucks big time.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see how this podcast is worked in and all that. So, as you already know, I've been speaking too much. I'm the Angry Raccoon. We have Ferret over here.
Yep, the rejoining again.
He had to come back for the special.
I'm always in for the E3s.
Seriously, the only time you're here? No, I'm joking. And of course, we have Ace as well.
Yeah, one of the regulars.
The third guy. Of the
man.
holy trilogy.
Yeah.
Imagine the Triforce. That's
Triforce
us. Or
is
imagine
the
a
best
fidget spinner. No, I'm joking. For the most part. Yeah, well... Yeah, it's all downhill from here, guys. But yeah, we're going to waste no time and we're going to get straight into E3. E3 happened. It roughly finished it a few days at the time of this recording. So we're going to we're trying to be as up to date as possible. We're not waiting until like another podcast for the most part. So we're going to get straight into the rules. Essentially what we're going to be doing is we're only going to be talking about games that were shown at E3, directly shown at E3. Even if they existed before E3, we're going to talk about them there, but announced trailers at the conference, on the floor, more gameplay scenes, interviews. If it was talked about in some extent at E3, we're talking about it. We're allowed to talk about it. What else do we have to say? Also, we're not covering everything. Yeah. We're not doing every game, and we're not, in some cases, doing every conference because that is too much work, and we are not interested in every game. Yeah. Trust me, not even your favorite journalists will be covering everything. So don't expect the same. And I don't want to hear in comments or messages via email, oh, why didn't you talk about this? What's your thoughts on this?
We probably didn't care.
We probably either didn't care, not interested, or we forgot.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of stuff happened. It wasn't just video games. There was technology there. E3 is about technology as well. There is tech being shown there. It just obviously gets overshadowed by, the reveal and whatever for the most part. And I guess... Oh, yeah, and also the other thing. So we're going to be doing it in a structured order. So we're going to be doing it via press conference. So the order we're going to be doing it is via EA's conference. We're going to do Microsoft conference, which will be followed by... Got to check them hefty notes because I don't want to forget. Devolver Digital, followed by PC's conference, Ubisoft, Sony, Nintendo's Treehouse, and then everything that wasn't necessarily shown or presented within a conference. We all clear on the rules in that?
Yeah.
For the most part?
All clear.
I think we can start for the most part. And, one last thing. We're going to be going via alphabetical order in terms of how people are going to talk about said games within a conference. So we're going to start with Ace, then we're going to go to Ferret, then we're going to go to me. So for example, let's say with Sony, we'll start with Ace. Ace will pick one game. If we have something to say about that game, we'll all talk about it. Okay. And then it will move to Ferret. He might have a game for that. If not, move to me. If not, we'll keep going until we finally get to everyone's game. And if somehow we're still missing something, quick show of hands, hey, I still got one more game. And that's how we'll do it. So, let's start with the first conference, and that is going to be EA's conference, which was the first conference shown. And just so I'm out of the picture, I got nothing for EA.
Okay, alright. I kind of have one. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Because I was actually looking forward to the first one, but there was literally no offline content, or as far as I can remember, there was none. And this one actually had some. It's got a single-player story, which...
Yeah.
That's fine. I would have liked offline bots. I don't know if it's going to have that. If it doesn't, then I've still got the single-player. And also, it's got like a lot of added stuff that the previous didn't, including couch co-op. So I could play with people just sitting next to me. It's great.
Something that should have been in the original game.
Exactly. That's really all I have to say for EA. I mean, they really didn't show much. It was mostly just sports stuff.
In my opinion, they didn't show anything.
Okay.
Are you joking? It showed the new Madden game. The new Madden game. It's got a story mode.
Oh no!
Oh, I want to follow some guy's boring adventure.
I have to be fair, that Madden was brimming with content, and it was really unique to actually see gameplay change up and an actual difference this time.
And finally, a diverse cast as well. We can rally behind this game.
We are being sarcastic as hell, by the way, because I mean, if you like sports games, good
Fair
for
enough.
you, but we will critique them as being the same game over and over and over again, because if you can't, I mean, and there's some people who don't care. I mean, there are people who buy a £400 Xbox One just for 5 games, and hey, if you want to spend your money that way,
Fair enough.
go ahead.
I don't think
your
it's
money.
usually for 5 games. It's usually for 1 or 2.
Well, I'm talking
nowadays.
about the yearly games, the yearly
yeah,
sports
yeah. I
games,
see
and
what
only
you
buy
mean.
like 5, and then the next console will be out.
Also, did anyone see the little bit for FIFA? There was these
No.
2 guys. I don't know if they're YouTubers or something called Men in Blazers. And
no.
when they got on stage, they went for a high five and failed so hard. It was great.
I went a bit slow on that one. It's so funny.
What is it with
It's
people and like
beautiful.
messing up high fives in current culture right now? We're not gonna get into
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
English-based and other country-based things, but like a lot of hits and misses for the most part in
Yeah.
culture. What is? Did people forget how to do the high five?
No.
It's because there's so many variations
Yeah.
nowadays. You got the fist bump, you got the high five, low five.
You got the high five to the handshake, you know,
Exactly.
and then the pulling for the shoulder bump.
But
Yeah,
in a
it's too
conference,
much.
isn't that like the most awkward thing you could do?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be more formal just to be like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, I'm meeting the head of EA, let's do a handshake on stage to show that we signify an actual understanding and friendship, rather than I'm going to high five the head of EA or something.
They were both like
I know, but
friends,
I'm using
yeah.
it as an example
Yeah.
because if they're friends, they should be up to now.
No,
to high five.
exactly.
Come on now.
The thing is, don't do the Donald Trump handshake. That's all I have to say. The car
That
salesman.
really
one.
limp.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the one where you pull someone,
Oh god.
rip their arm off. The key to managing a successful high five is making contact with the eyes. That's literally it. So, if you want to know how to do a high five, look at the eyes.
See, it's not just about gaming, guys. We're actually
No.
providing like serious like
It really is.
tips
Life
that could
tips.
life tips that could get you a job.
And if you're too embarrassed to look in the eyes, look at the nose. It's close enough.
It's fair enough. If it's looking at you, it's more or less the eyes.
true.
But
It's true.
have you?
That was really it for you. Yeah.
Fair.
Fair. Well, I wanted to say the same thing. Basically, Battlefront 2 is
Yeah.
really what I expected one to be like. What the remake.
What it should have been.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
really should have been, but I still think there's a little bit of something dodgy behind the scenes. I can't
Well,
really trust.
it's called EA.
Yeah,
Also, the
Fair enough.
lady was very angry when
she
asked
was a
it.
bit. She was a bit.
Like she said, I'm the main character in the single player, and she was looking at everyone like she was gonna murder them.
She really failed acting class. You can tell.
Yes.
It was a bit-
Yeah, you always
bit
question
crazy.
these presenters' actual profession, because it's
Yeah.
not presenter.
Oh,
That much I
she's
know.
literally an actor within the Battlefront game. Like she's the main character of the single player.
Oh,
wow.
that's not promising.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, that's all I have, so we can move on.
So we're already done with EA then.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
over.
Well,
Surprising.
I was expecting I mean, not to get into too much, but they really didn't show anything,
Nah.
to be honest. Right, we can move into Microsoft's press conference,
Oh,
which was interesting for the most part, I will say.
Yeah.
Definitely, not to spoil too much, I would say definitely a mixed bag.
It was
Interesting.
a vast improvement over the last few years.
Yes.
because they had things.
Yes, big time. Ace, you have one for Microsoft?
There's one I just kind of want to mention first because of how dumb it is.
Yeah.
Xbox One X.
Yeah, I
Like-
ignored that.
Who comes up with the name? It's
Microsoft.
like. I mean, at least Xbox, like Project Scorpio. Okay, that sounded less stupid.
Or just Scorpio.
Yeah. Xbox One X, it sounds like some really edgy teenager's like Hotmail account.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Sega Saturn 32X.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
awful attachment for that console.
Maybe you could just continuously attach in 32Xs.
That's what I'm going to call it, the 32X. Because, I mean, I honestly really don't care about like specs and
Yeah.
thingy. The way I see it, you know, PS3 was 720, PS4 is 1080. That's how I've always seen it. That's how it's always going to look to me, because I don't see that kind of quality difference.
Yeah.
When the head of Microsoft is going to go, God, output,
Yeah.
4K resolution. I'm just like,
Stupid.
games.
The best part is they said it's for 4K, and then what was the 4K game? Minecraft.
Yeah.
In 4K.
Like,
That's bad.
I don't. That was like really baffling because they could have made a joke out of that, and a
Yeah,
lot of
they
people, as one of the games I'm going to talk about, made a joke about the fact that their game isn't the prettiest game ever, but it's on 4K and there's always the
Yeah.
potential. They could have made a joke about it. They could have said, "Now Minecraft looks even better," or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
really dumb and cheesy like that. But no, it was like, yeah, we're serious. That
Yeah.
Minecraft now looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
the best it's ever going to look, and I'm like, come on, son.
You can see every dirt speck.
It's like the theme of Microsoft conferences. Come on, son.
Yeah. The cool thing about that, like, actually was, like, Minecraft crossplay. So let's say someone's got PS3 and their friend has an Xbox. They can
Yeah.
both play. Like, that's great.
But the counter is like Minecraft Telltale Story Season 2.
Oh, God. Telltale
Yeah.
should just die off now.
The
They
Telltale
did good
need to like
once.
focus
They need
on
to- yeah.
getting the good writers in to write good stories
Yeah.
on projects they actually care about.
Yeah.
Because Telltale's been around for a time, but their first few games sucked.
Yeah.
Except for Sam and Max. Sam and Max was great. But Back to the Future and stuff like that sucked.
Yeah. There was two really interesting games. The Last Night, which was this really great looking pixel art cyberpunk game. It looked beautiful as hell. It was like a 2-minute trailer, but it looked amazing. They didn't really show much gameplay, which is sad, but I want to know more about this game because it looked great, and apparently it's like a really small indie team doing it. So I don't know how they managed to make it look that good.
Well, it's Microsoft trying to just get whatever they can
Yeah.
for the most part, because there's, I mean, not to be rude to some
Yeah.
of these like indie developers who are making games, but it's like bottom of the barrel in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, that these are just the last few like indie games we could find because Sony and PC already got that kind of stuff locked down for the most part.
Although,
I'm not trying to discredit
Yeah.
any of these indie developers. I think you guys are doing an awesome job. It's just a case of, you
Yeah.
know.
What are we left with?
and,
Yeah, that's how Microsoft treats it to some extent.
Yeah. One of the things is I do think it's going to be on every console, so it's not really an exclusive.
Well, that was the biggest problem with Microsoft's press conferences. They hardly showed any exclusives.
Almost all of it was for everything,
Yeah.
or at least Windows if it's not on Xbox.
Yeah, like I was surprised that there was no Halo or Gears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that someone got fired over that because someone had to have some serious restraint for that.
Yeah.
But they did have Forza, and they had a car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they always had a car.
Fucking Forza.
Like, it was right there, you
It's
know?
not E3 if it ain't got a car there.
Does the
It's
game
true.
come with a car?
No,
Oh, you.
it's bad.
That's basically it that I really cared about, I guess, like, that I really liked.
I guess it would fall straight to the Ferret then. Anything that kind of came from like Microsoft for you.
Yeah, I just really hated the announcement of Call of Duty. World War II. Like, we haven't fucking seen that before. Jesus. The first few games were based on it.
Yeah,
Jesus
pretty much.
We don't need to see World War again. Jesus. At least do World War One like Battlefront.
This game is a
Jesus.
response to like the lackluster sales
Yeah.
and interest since the last 3 games, because the previous game,
The futuristic
whatever that one
ones.
was called, the one that came out last year, like
Black Ops 3. So, no. The
Infinity War?
yeah,
Infinite War?
for Warfare, I think.
It was-
Infinity
it,
War.
had
Some
it had
shit,
war in the name somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game did really poorly.
It did
Yeah.
Like
terrible.
extremely poorly, and this is like their last chances. They're like, we got to
Yeah.
get the fans back, and I don't think the fans care. Not
No.
given the fact that we're finally starting to get things that are maybe a little bit more interesting in terms of actual games. I mean, if you have an Xbox, then you're pretty much fucked. I mean, you have nothing to play.
No.
I'm sorry if you're gonna scream fanboy, but it's true. I mean, even if you don't see that, just compare the conferences between everyone else.
Yeah. I actually did remember the one that completely blanked from
Now
my head.
you missed your turn. We're going back round.
Anthem, the new BioWare game. This
Oh,
is,
yeah.
This is where their animation budget went.
Oh,
This is where it went.
I don't think that's where it went.
No, this is definitely where it went. Like, some of the animation in this looks really nice, and
Yeah.
that jetpacking looks good. That's really it.
When I saw this game,
Yeah.
I was like so amazed, like that this was like BioWare, because it looks just so uncreative, uninspired. I was like,
Fair
holy
enough.
shit, where did the originality go? Like,
Yeah.
BioWare are so fucking hyped for being this amazing team, and I was like,
They were.
that's it?
They were
like-
at some point.
Like, it just looked boring to me. It looked.
Yeah.
I mean, people were screaming about like okay, everyone wants to ride a jetpack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But it just there's nothing.
Like,
I didn't see anything.
literally,
Boring.
the last time I've enjoyed a jetpack in a game was Dark Void. That's a long time. I want new jetpack. Someone needs a good jetpack game.
When was
Call
the
of
last time?
Duty.
No, fuck that.
That was like a hyper jump or some rubbish like that.
Like a full-on jetpack where you get to fly around. I want that experience again.
I don't know. It's more about bows and mechs
Yeah.
and
Mechs?
suits. Mechs, yeah.
Oh, mechas. Are
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean,
Fair enough.
yeah, I would I know what this game is. It's supposed to be their answer to Destiny.
Oh,
because
yeah, I know.
Destiny's, but I would argue that Destiny has more creativity than this game.
Fair enough.
Because
Destiny 2 is
like
quite good.
I
so
mean,
looks-
not to, if you're excited for this game,
Yeah.
and we're not trying to discourage
Oh, no.
anyone. If
I'm
anyone
not.
is excited
Yeah.
for these games and we're putting them down, or we're talking enough about this game, but you think it looks like crap, that's fine.
Yeah.
We've got opinions on that. But for me, this was just so
boring.
nothing. It's shocking. Like there was nothing interesting. I mean, it's supposed to be some kind of weird RPG space thing, and everyone's
Yeah.
a human, and I was like, that's a big no for me. First of all, because that says lazy immediately.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the gameplay it's nothing I've never seen before. It's nothing original
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, because almost everything to some extent could be traced back, and I know that's you could say that about every game for the most part. But I think it's just a case of I'm just really annoyed with the hype, and the hype
yeah.
of I'm really excited, in my opinion, for nothing, and I'm just like, okay.
But then we've got the counter argument. The
Okay.
jetpack.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
come on!
And that's the problem.
Like, that just looks so good. That's the only bit I like, the jetpack. That's it. I can play that for 5 minutes and I'll be done. That's all I want.
Is that 5-minute experience really going to be worth?
I'm not going to
the-
buy it.
Okay.
So I want.
Play through, yeah.
Try it.
Yeah. I'll try it for a little. And then it's
Kiosk.
like, yeah, exactly.
Kiosk is playing it, sure thing. I mean, but yeah, I would say I was disappointed in this game, but then again, I have I knew it was gonna. I mean, their AAA game.
Yeah.
Not gonna be anything special. BioWare stopped trying a long time ago.
This-
Unfortunately,
as I said,
and eventually they're gonna be number 11 in EA's underwing, or how many
yeah,
studios have they
died?
liquefied
Yeah.
for the most part, which is a massive shame. And even funny enough, going back to EA's conference, they just showed a picture of Anthem.
Oh no, they showed like a 50-second trailer, I
Yeah,
think.
which is nothing
And it
compared
was-
to what Microsoft had, and I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell happened there, guys?
Yeah.
Like, it's your game, right?
Exactly. Maybe Microsoft paid a lot.
But it's weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Microsoft is going to pay a lot more to show our game, despite the fact we have a press conference that's lacking in games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
No one's screaming about EA.
No.
Bizarre. I know. Ferret, do you have anything else you'd like to discuss regarding Microsoft's games?
Nope.
I guess
Nothing
it's
else.
me
So,
then.
on to you.
I was interested in Microsoft. They had a mixed bag for the most part, and I was somewhat surprised. The first game I want to talk about is an oldie, but we didn't really get anything because it was literally like a 30-second cutscene, and that's Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
The only thing we really got from this was the fact that there's going to be new bosses, the fact the game is still alive, the fact the game is dropping September 29th, which is awesome that the game is finally coming out. Regardless if this game is even any good, I still think it's a visual marvel that is going to be incredibly pretty to look at no matter what happens, and Microsoft is incredibly lucky they actually have this game on their platform and PC.
That's what I was going to say. It's also on PC, so you still don't need an Xbox
Exactly, and that's the biggest hypocrisy of Microsoft for the most part.
Yeah.
Is like, why do I need an
Xbox.
Xbox when I can
Exactly.
play everything on PC?
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Like, you're really not selling your console. I mean,
No.
I don't care about the console. I don't
No.
care about any console, to be fair, but it's weird because they have. I don't get it. It's almost if they know people don't want to play on an Xbox One, and they go, "Remember Windows."
Yeah, exactly.
It's like-
they're just selling it out. They're just selling all the
It's-
licenses
it's-
out for more money.
It's weird. It's super weird. The
'Cause they
next
still
game.
get a cut of it.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I know, and I know exactly what you mean. It's just
Yeah.
the logic is so weird. It's literally like saying, we know we're not going to make a profit.
Yeah, exactly.
The next game I want to talk about real quick was a game that's kind of been a bit of a joke for us if you guys are new to the podcast, and that's Crackdown 3.
Oh, yeah.
More specifically, the fact that the live-action trailer features Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Terry Crews is awesome. He perfect role. Game looks rubbish.
That's the thing. They advertise Crackdown horribly.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the first game, the appeal to that is it's a literal open world game.
Yeah.
Do any mission, any order.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do that in this one because they're not advertising it.
No, it looks like a four-player co-op game.
Yeah.
Shoot up the place. Maybe you'll have fun kind of thing, which is interesting. I mean, graphics don't look that great neither, which is a bit of a surprise. And I would argue that that Crackdown 2 has a more interesting art style than 3.
Although Crackdown 2 was shit.
Oh yeah,
it was actually terrible.
Of course, I'm not trying to say it's a good game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying stylistically, Crackdown 2 has more of a style than 3 because I don't know what this style is, but it looks rubbish.
Yeah,
honestly.
But they announced it was coming out this year.
Yeah, which
November 3rd.
Which is something that we're going to be constantly saying throughout this podcast. Is one of the best things about E3 this year is that about 80% of everything that was announced and shown is coming out this year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
surprising.
Props to the gaming industry for that, because usually it's maybe it'll come out or 2018 or
coming soon.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was like 80% of this stuff was like coming out this year.
Yeah.
So get ready, and in like the next 4 months, which is even better. Next thing I wanted to talk about is a franchise I absolutely love, and that is Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
Taking inspiration from one of my favorite Bob Marley albums. No, I'm joking. Very underrated series, as I think most people kind of go, no, for the most part. And I'm really excited to finally be getting another game. I had to re-double check what the ending of Last Light was, because I was like, hold on a minute. But really happy. It sucks we didn't get to see any gameplay.
Yeah,
that is not actual gameplay.
That is made to look like
that
gameplay.
is very fantastical, and I can tell because it's like cinematic and the camera movements are weird. And they have said, because there's a lot of bullshit surrounding this game, which I'm kind of going to address. And they did kind of say they took out QuickTime events and they took out a lot of stuff to make this flow as a trailer. But it's not gameplay.
Yeah.
It's not gameplay. Simply put, I mean, I know what Metro looks like, and if it does look like that, then we're going to get a very disappointing game for the most part.
But that bear, that looked terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying in the second game as well.
Oh, I didn't know that was in there.
Yeah, it's except the bear in number 2 is way fucking scarier than that. That is like tame as hell.
Yeah,
that was like, oh, okay, I've seen that before.
Those put the Yogwai from Fallout like to shame.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Because how small they are in Fallout. In this,
let's just say the bear in Last Light is way bigger of an issue. Because the one thing that Last Light really suffered in is the boss fights.
Okay.
Except for that one. That one was like, woo!
Alright.
For the most part. But, yeah, I mean, although I like the idea of giving more emphasis of it being outside, I am really worried that's going to take away the tension for the most part, because they really try, because from what I hear, the main story is the main character's like, I'm going to get on a train and we're going to find new places, and I'm like, I don't like the sound of that, because that doesn't sound too tense to me, and having a crossbow out of nowhere was kind of like a bit too powerful for me for the most part. I'm kind of hoping the survival's still there, and I wasn't really seeing that. It was more the case of, I know how to do everything, and
which is
post-apocalypse. You need to be prepared for everything, but it seemed a bit like everything's a bit of a joke. I've dealt with this before. Nothing's really a threat.
They might have been just doing that to try to like make it more appeasing.
More appealing, because no one plays Metro. I understand that, and this is very ambitious. There is a bit of speculation as to people are throwing out the word open world. It is not open world.
No.
It is semi-open world for the most part. It's just a bigger area, which I'm happy about, because I would much rather just focus on the world and the story and the pathway and the options the story is going to present me for the most part. And also, open world games are glitchy as hell.
Yeah,
they are.
So I'd rather not have that. This game is not an Xbox exclusive, which is awesome.
Brilliant.
PC and PS4, thank goodness.
Wow. Yeah.
Because Microsoft didn't do the smart thing in making it exclusive.
Yeah.
Next game I want to run through is Super Lucky's Tale, which is a interesting little platformer that follows a fox with a cape, which is interesting, and it's a very cute game for the most part. Simple platforms, charm, really like the look of it. It has a very kid-ish aesthetic, but most platformers do. Obviously, the game got a lot of hate because it's like, what is this kids game doing in my super high power? I want my browns and my greys and my shooters. People who say that might not have ever played the game before.
Also, I heard like again people criticizing graphics, and it's like I don't care.
The
as
game
long as
looks
the game's fine.
awesome. Like graphic wise, it looks good. And I was watching interviews, and they were saying how, despite its look, they were really utilizing the power of X, which is interesting. It's hard.
That's
they all have to say that. It's mandatory, but I mean,
got gun to their head.
off screen, But I think they were kind of joking about it. Even the team, which we're going to talk about later at Sega, they were kind of joking where it was like, with Sonic Mania, we really utilized the full potential of X, but they were obviously joking about that because according to we'll get to that. I got to talk about Sonic and that later, so we'll get to that. Remind me if anything. The characters look awesome. They look really cute. I mean, I really like the gameplay. I mean, I like the fact that the main villains are literally called the Kitty Litter, which I think is a really pretty cool thing. And I mean, the one interesting thing about this game is the character Lucky the Fox started out as a VR character. Now he's getting his own console game. Okay. Usually that's the other way around, where they push a character on VR. So
that's interesting.
Maybe they saw the potential in this character, or maybe this is the first sign that VR is dead. Maybe.
Very possible.
It's interesting. It's interesting because you never see that. You never see someone go, VR, there's a lot of potential for this character on VR, let's put him on consoles. It's usually the opposite round. The only good VR game I've ever seen was the one Insomniac did that no one played, and that was good because...
And Star Trek Bridge Crew.
I haven't seen that gameplay, and is it out yet?
I'm pretty sure it is out now.
Okay, well, I know nothing about this, so I cannot talk on it.
Okay.
But that game was pretty cool. It was a really interesting horror game that actually your VR perspective was what you see, and you move the character with the controller. So you can look around the whole world, but you're always moving the character. Yeah. So if something's behind you, you can look behind you. Your character remains there. That kind of thing. And I was like, that's proper utilization of VR within gameplay. And Insomniac seem to be the only people doing things right, which we'll get onto obviously later. But the next game I want to talk about very briefly, because it was shown as Microsoft. I got quite a few things, but I'm going to be brief about them because shorten that. Life is Strange Before the Storm. This is the DLC that precedes Life is Strange. Really not interested in this prequel story.
No,
because
neither am
I don't care about a story explaining why Chloe dyed her hair.
I also don't care about a story that focuses on Chloe.
No,
because she's the worst.
And the main reason I want to talk about this is because I have a position. Here's a concept for a better DLC. How about we focus it on an interesting character? Let's focus on Kate.
Yes, my favourite character.
Why don't we focus on that character? Mainly, my main reasons being, let's have one story focusing on before Max.
Yeah.
What was Kate doing? She's a Christian girl. Some bad shit happens. Let's not spoil anything. And
then
it
can still be called Before the Storm.
Exactly. And let's do a second story during the events of episode 2, because she kind of disappears.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the point where I stopped caring about this game. Not because of her, but just because the game became a bit of a slug for me. And then let's do an original story after the storm. Yeah, why not? Because once again, she disappears and
make
we
sure
never
Chloe's
see her
dead.
again. No, because that still have to be canon for the most part.
It should be.
I don't know. I was really disappointed in this. Life is Strange is a very interesting game for a lot of people. It's very polarizing. I don't agree with its praise for the most part. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't agree with it being Jesus Christ, the video game, basically, as some people say that.
I haven't heard anyone saying this.
The way some audience react to it, yes.
But people are children.
I'm just going to ignore this DLC for the most part, because...
I thought it was supposed to be a whole game.
Well, it's DLC, that's what I'm considering it, because it's Before the Storm.
From what I've heard, it's going to be its own whole game thing.
Well, if it's episodic, I still call it DLC.
Yeah.
Simply put. Next, really quick one, because they showed no gameplay, which is surprising. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yes.
Ori and the Blind Forest was a fantastic game. If they can make it just as good as the first, that's great. I mean, just really surprised there was no gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't get that. It's almost as if Microsoft doesn't understand it's one of the best games they have on their system. Very bizarre. But I wanted to mention, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the game will make its way onto other platforms because it's a really, really strong game.
I think I checked and it's not an Xbox exclusive. It's either on Windows or other things.
Okay, fair enough. And let me double check my notes to make sure. Oh, I'm done with Microsoft.
I do remember one dumb thing though.
Okay, go on.
So, Xbox, in all their wisdom, decided that now we're going to do backwards compatibility for the original console, the original Xbox.
So you mean Xbox One?
Yeah, no, Xbox.
Which Xbox?
Xbox.
I don't.
Xbox,
so you
the
mean
first Xbox One.
Do you mean the first? No.
Do we mean the first one?
Xbox?
The 360, the one or the one?
I don't get which one you mean. Is it the first one or the second one? Because you could call them all Xbox for the most part.
The original.
Xbox One, yes.
Oh, you mean the first one, do you? If you don't get the joke, we are making fun of the fact that it's pretty damn confusing when talking about any Xbox system for the most part.
But yeah, so they're doing backwards compatibility for that now. It's like, oh, okay.
You could see that plan coming a mile away.
Yeah, it was
such money grabbers. They purposefully hold back features.
Well, to be fair, Sony's been trying to do something similar to that, but they would much rather you pay to re-download those games from your childhood.
That is just depressing.
Oh, with Xbox, wait, I can't remember it.
It's that scheme they have, and yes, I'm going to use the word scheme.
Yeah.
It really is terrible.
Yeah, Bethesda.
So there's a lot to talk about here, a lot to unpack.
Weirdly enough, for a one studio, Ace, take it away.
So, do you like VR, everyone?
No.
Well, here's some VR for you. Doom VR, Fallout VR,
No.
Skyrim VR, all the VR. So yeah, they decided to just throw VR at everything and hope it sticks.
I mean, they're really boasting about like win the lawsuit, and I mean, fair enough, you have the technology, sure, whatever, but don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give a shit. Fuck off with the VR.
I never cared about VR. The only time I cared about VR was that Insomniac game I said, and then like a friend of mine making a pretty awesome thing to do with VR. But obviously, you guys won't ever see that unless he makes it big and sells it or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was like the weakest point of Bethesda and all of E3, I would say to be fair. And it was just kind of like didn't even watch like half of it, and I was like, skip.
Yeah. So also more Skyrim, everyone. So they're doing like a
no Scrim, you mean?
More Scrim.
Yes.
So there's the Scrim.
Say it correctly, please. You scrub. You know nothing about the Scrim lore.
So Scrim.
I've been playing Scrim for 5 years straight. I know everything about the franchise. So Scrim is an amazing franchise.
They've got basically an like extra thing for their like card game based on Skyrim. So it's basically just their Hearthstone wannabe with Skyrim.
Someone's jealous of The Witcher.
Yeah. And then there's Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch because it's got to be everywhere.
Wait, I didn't know that. It's going on.
And if you put in the Link amiibo, you get Link's outfit, Master Sword and Shield.
Wow, it's not like I could go on Steam Workshop.
Exactly.
Wow.
Something they freaking helped.
Oh, yes.
Talking about Steam Workshop, Creation Club. Paid mods, everyone. It's back again to exploit all the modders. Because that didn't fuck over people before when Steam and Bethesda did it before. Did it? No. No, it didn't. Fucking Creation Club.
Evil.
They're trying to claim it's not paid mods. It's like, oh no, it's just like a miniature monetary,
aiding the community.
Yeah. You know, you got to buy credits to buy stuff. So fucking dumb. They also showed off like Quake Champions, and it's got like BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein.
Yeah, they weirdly enough, for like one of the next biggest releases, they hardly showed off anything for this game, which is like, do you guys even care about it?
Exactly.
Or is it that it's just a multiplayer game and you don't want to tell people that?
Yeah. But the one that I really do want to talk about here, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. So we get to kill Nazis and the KKK in this one. That's perfect.
That is actually brilliant.
Like, you just saw the trailer. I was like, I can't wait to kill him. That's going to be perfect.
I was so happy to see that they're making a sequel to Wolfenstein, The New Order. I was like, finally, another good first-person shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, Doom was great. Wolfenstein: The New Order was great, despite the fact there was no New Order in it.
Yeah.
I mean, no Blue Monday, no nothing like that. Obviously, but I mean, I was just so happy with everything to do with this game because they know exactly what they are doing and they know what they want to do. This game is blending like challenging like gameplay with fun stories, an interesting concept, though it's bullshit would never happen. But it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, let me get my notes on this. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm an old school first person shooter guy. I find first person shooters very easy. I just do. It's just a weird phenomenon. Anyone who knows me knows I find no first person shooter challenging, no matter what difficulty I play it on. I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, I hate Call of Duty. Weird. I mean, they're having more fun with this, and you can really see that in the story. They're really taking this, let's say, dumb, abstract, concept and kind of really going through it. Nazis, World War II, and they're all super smart now somehow, but yet there's the resistance, and we're all trying to beat the Nazis, and they got like robot dogs, and they got like these weird like mecha flying tanks, and all this, and the KKK is just frequently like walking around, and it's bizarre as hell. It's fantastical, but it's a game.
Exactly.
It makes sense. Games of escapism. It's animation. It's fantasy, and I mean they just the whole section where you get to ride one of those robotic dogs looks just. I mean, cool. I can tell it's only gonna be one section, but they're gonna make sure you have fun with that. The whole section where he's stealthily taking out people, kind of while in this like clockwork places, like just dumb, and he's running down dual wielding guns, and I'm just like, where's the pre-order?
One thing I wanted to see in this though, I'm a bit disappointed that I don't think they'll ever add. They'll add like. And they'll bring Japan into this somehow, like with a crazy experiment.
There's a book you should read that's kind of like this, The United States of Japan. Yeah, I have it. It's basically after the war, like Japan basically takes over a section of America, and there's like mechas and stuff. It's so cool.
That sounds like a dope.
It's good.
I mean, maybe they can move on from that. Perhaps. I mean, DLC, Wolfenstein 3, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Japanese Empire.
I mean, I would imagine.
That'd be cool at DC.
It could be. I mean, it's nothing that's been explored. I mean, I do kind of feel sorry for Germany because they're not getting this game, unfortunately.
No.
I mean,
I think it would be banned.
It is instantly.
It is.
Yeah.
They had to ban it.
Yeah.
Simply put, because it has Nazi memorabilia and like imagery in it. There was no choice.
Sorry for Germans a little bit.
A little bit.
For the most part, what they're saying you get to kill Nazis, not Germans.
Yeah.
But because no one
and it's a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, in theory, anyone can be a Nazi, and I'd imagine based around the concepts in these games, anyone could, in theory, be a Nazi. Any kind of race person, that kind of thing.
In the Nazis, actually had a different. They have, different.
Of course, it wasn't just all German people. It wasn't just all white people. Of course.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we need to clarify that.
I want to see that Indian Nazi in that game now.
I'm sure there probably are. I mean, Nazi is just another word for evil nowadays. So
something I actually really wanted to say about this, which very like some people caught onto. One of the good guys is quoting Karl Marx, like actually doing some like socialist communist speech stuff. Is great.
Well, you need to put in that kind of stuff because you are dealing with a very heavy loaded situation within fiction. So you need to make sure you're not just going, they are evil, these are good.
Oh, no, but this is the good guy saying good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect.
I'm just using like a rough example. I mean, the technology looks great. I like the fact that the main character has this weird dome helmet thing that like protects him from bullets. Like, looks dumb, but like it's pretty cool. And and the thing that really just established the whole game was that last shot they showed for the trailer, where the guy is taking drugs during the middle of a war, and he's tripping out like talking to cartoon characters, and I'm like, perfect. Okay, I know what this game is about. Mood established. You know what I mean? It was like, that's it. It was like, sold. I mean, best game of. I don't think it's coming out. Is it coming out this year?
I can't remember. Also, there's another little pun kind of joke here in the title. So it's Wolfenstein 2, but instead of doing the number, they've got the Roman numerals.
Yeah.
but this is actually the 11th Wolfenstein game. So
That's
that is great.
Yeah,
That's
really
which is
brilliant.
nice. It's just as smart as was Resident Evil 7, where they used like the end of evil to make Roman numerals a 7, which
cool.
I hope the person who came up with that got a fucking raise because they deserve it.
He was like, "You see what I did, guys? You see what I did?"
And they're all just clapping.
Yeah.
And then to use a less creative one, Friday the 13th. The 13th film comes out soon.
Oh wow! All right, fair enough.
So it's like,
The remake.
well done, guys.
Yeah.
You wait,
Finally made it to part 13. Congrats. Ah, boy. Let's move on to Ace. You got anything for Bethesda? I know we've almost covered everything, and I'm waiting for the one we haven't covered, so I want to see if maybe you talk about it. So
I was actually
comes to
gonna
me.
wait for you to do that.
Okay, Ferret. No?
Huh? No.
Anything else for Bethesda, or despite the fact we've pretty much covered everything and there's only one thing left to talk about?
No, I'm on the spot. I can't remember.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, moment of silence. We're thinking. We're concentrating.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the
Dishonored.
same.
I forgot about Dishonored.
Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't. I don't care about Dishonored. Honestly,
Yeah.
I saw that DLC and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They're
If it is DLC, I mean, a lot of DLC is weirdly on this disc.
They said it's standalone, but apparently it's not going to be like a really big game.
Of course, it's not.
So
It's
yeah.
DLC.
Yeah.
It's DLC. It's straight up. I
Never
can't
been
wait any longer.
interested.
We're going to it.
Just-
We're going to the final thing.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't surprised to see it there, I was happy to finally see it. And shame there's no real gameplay. There's like a minute gameplay trailer, and it doesn't give you too much. But I've managed to do enough research to kind of have enough to talk about for the most part. And oh boy, that CGI trailer was probably second best trailer of E3. Just given it's really okay. The thing is, it's displaying more examples of psychological horror and these trippy visuals, and it's really setting the tone for this film and what the first one really should have been. And I'm like really impressed that like this is actually like a way more mature trailer compared to almost anything the game done. And I think the best thing about it is, I don't know if anyone else got this impression, but this trailer just has confidence to it.
Okay.
For me, it feels confident. It feels like we know what we're doing. This is going to be a theme. We know we got it. It feels confident to me. I know it sounds a bit weird for a CGI trailer, and obviously it's not really showing in the. Obviously, I'm not saying that about the gameplay, but it gives me that feeling as if like we know what to do. We know how to fix it. We know how to do it. We have confidence in ourselves.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that's what that put me in a good mood for this game, because I like the Evil Within.
Also,
it's not the greatest game ever.
Like, it looks very nice.
I looked at it. You did it like a criticism.
Yeah.
I like that it's not the greatest game.
Well, if you watch our whole playthrough of it, you can see some funny shit happen.
No, I have seen a lot of shit.
It's a fun game, but like it's not the best thing ever made. And I mean, I have seen some of the gameplay, and some of the gameplay does interest me for the most part. And a lot of things they've talked about is pretty interesting. I mean, the environments are way bigger callbacks to survival horror, big time. I mean, one of my favorite aspects that they've kind of showed off, and you can kind of see this in the trailer, and that is that there is a mansion that belongs to, and one of the antagonists, like human maybe antagonist, who is essentially an artist who wants to capture the beauty of death.
Okay.
And the way he does this is kind of weird. He kind of freezes people as they're dying dead for the most part. And the way he does this,
a book I've read. I can't remember off the top of my head. Go ahead.
And he has this weird psychic, which you do see in the trailer, which is that weird mannequin woman thing with the camera, which is called Obscura.
Okay.
And that thing essentially takes these photos, and that's one of the enemies in the game. One of the enemies. And I've seen what the guy looks like, and he's like a smug arsehole painter, and he's got this can possibly be any size monster called Obscura, and I'm like, that's really interesting. That's really messed up for the most part, and that's probably going to be like one whole level, one whole area for the most part. This guy's mansion, along with the whole story and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I love that, and even the story is like rather interesting for the most part. I mean, I like the fact that kind of getting into a bit of spoilers, but we're not going to ruin the exact ending of the game. But you know, the main character, he's found out some stuff. He needs to go find someone. He's after someone. Someone lied to him, and the fact that he's teaming up with another character who wasn't too trustworthy in the first game to kind of do this is like a really unique concept, because given the person's mind they're going into, that could be a disaster for the most part, given what could have happened in the story. And we can talk about story stuff later and all that kind of stuff. People who've played the game know what I mean. The only issue I have maybe with the game is this game is coming out October 13th.
Oh,
Friday
really?
the 13th, yes.
Yeah, I forgot, yeah.
And I'm really worried they might be rushing the game to hit that date.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, from the gameplay I've seen, it looks pretty polished.
Yeah.
But this is a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
And
it's buggy.
And this is like the first time we've heard of the sequel.
Yeah. And the fact that they still haven't released any solid gameplay yet, despite the fact people can play at E3. I'm not trying to say that the game's broken or worrying or anything. It's just like...
There's some red flags.
It's red flags. I'm going to be a bit cautious, and I don't blame them because when they showed off the Evil Within last time at E3, everyone slagged the game off big time. So I can understand why they probably don't want people to immediately be doing that because they probably got the game finished already.
Yeah.
So they're probably just like, we don't really want to be putting in stupid things because one guy said, oh, the main character doesn't react to anything. Or something dumb like that for the most part. Because that's what happened with the previous game, and that's why you get that weird animation in the game, which we sometimes talked about.
Beautiful animation.
Yeah, that one animation, which was a direct response because of said people saying dumb stuff. It's good to take feedback, but not from dumb people.
Yeah.
You had to keep telling me to stop because the amount of times I'd want to do that thing.
Oh, gosh.
I loved that. It was great.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, that's pretty much all Bethesda had to offer. Interesting, quite beefy. The next one we're going to move on to is probably the weirdest press conference of all, and that is Devolver Digital. Actually had a press conference, weirdly enough, that wasn't really at E3, kind of.
No, it was filmed prior. But so Devolver Digital did a 15 minutes kind of more of a skit rather than a presentation, because the two games they did show were games that we've already seen before.
Yeah.
They weren't anything new. But the whole point of the thing was taking the piss out of E3.
For the most part, yes.
Like, where they're basically saying, and all those people watching, and you see a game you want and you'll throw your money through. Don't worry, now you can!
They literally bring off a computer that basically just does that. I mean, part of the point of it is kind of feeding into the whole cringy and like somewhat psychotic manner of these press conferences for the most part. And I mean...
Yeah.
This is the one where the woman's shouting and screaming, and it's the guys with like a laptop.
Yeah.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm thinking I'm here to look at games, not for a fucking. I'm not here to listen to fucking, a big life-changing speech about games.
I did kind of love it.
But you have to remember that is a parody of how some people have acted in the past for the most part. Obviously, at a very hilarious and extreme sense. I mean, for people to not like it, you've kind of just, you kind of like added to it in some sense. It makes sense. I mean, they didn't go out to go, oh, we're really clever for doing this. They kind of went out to confuse people and kind of make you laugh or make you rather disturbed to some extent.
I'm just annoyed.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was funny for me.
I thought it was pretty good. I like the fact that they kept cutting to like the same three people in the audience, the same obvious actors, which even to the point where they kept repeating the same clips, which I thought stuff like that was great. I did like the performance of the main lady. I thought she did a great job being this psychotic as hell.
And this other lady who got brought on and wasn't allowed to talk.
Yeah, she wasn't allowed to talk.
No.
Like
the best one was the guy sitting down. I just love these reactions.
What about when he tried to get into the computer?
He was amazing.
I think it definitely was like a very. I think we kind of needed something like that for E3 to kind of go, hey, don't take it too seriously. It's all kind of stupid. It's just video games at the end of the day, I thought something like that was pretty cool. Moving on to our next press conference. That press conference was 15 minutes long, so guess what? We're going to talk about it for 15 seconds. The next one is going to be the PC conference, which is arguably probably the conference that people and gamers care about the least, for the most part.
And the thing is, it had the thing that I was the most happiest about. Okay, so XCOM 2 was one of my favourite games last year. They announced an expansion for it, War of the Chosen, and oh my god, it does everything. It's great. So not only will it have XCOM 2 on there, similar to their previous expansion, it's now got these 3 new aliens called the Chosen, who are going to pop up in like missions every once in a while. And over the course of the game, they get better, like equipment and skills, like your guys will.
Yeah.
They've got these 3 new resistance groups, similar to XCOM, that you have to win over to your side. Ooh. And you get new, like, super kind of soldiers from it.
Shit.
New enemy type, which are basically these zombies, and they will swarm you.
God.
But they don't just attack you, they attack enemies as well.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you could have a mission where you're against like the aliens, then those appear and the Chosen appear. So you just have this massive mess.
That is dope.
Sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing.
I'm so hyped, and it's coming everywhere on August 29th. It's great.
I was rather surprised by this trailer because it actually looked very interesting.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I really find it hard to get into XCOM, I was interested, and they had some interesting story and concepts. It looked like a BioWare game. It looked like someone actually went into like designing a game.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say XCOM hasn't done that already,
No.
but I was pleasantly happy. If I cared more about XCOM, I would be interested in this. But I mean, it looks awesome from what I've seen, honestly.
I'm just so hyped, and it's probably the thing I'm looking forward to most now out of anything this year. So, yeah. Other than that, there was Battletech, which Battletech is a tabletop RPG game where you make mechs. And you basically fight them and like become a mercenary and stuff. And they're doing an actual PC version based off of the mechanics of the tabletop.
Wow.
And that sounds great because all they've done before was first-person ones on the PC, and this is the tactical thing. So I'm excited. That looks cool.
Interesting for the most part.
Sounds cool.
I don't think I've ever seen anything to do with it, honestly.
No, neither have I, but
It's an amazing tabletop game. The Mech Warrior series branches off from it, and those are pretty good. But this looks great. I'm happy.
Fair enough.
And I think the last thing, so last night was shown here as well, the pixel art game.
Oh, yeah.
And the creator of it actually came on to apologise. And that's because in the past he said some serious shit on Twitter. And he was getting some beef over it, like in between these nights.
what was one of the things
It was
said?
a whole thing like to do with Gamergate and shit like that. So yeah, he just wanted to clear that out so people could focus on the game.
Yeah.
And they still didn't show much gameplay, but he cleared that shit up. I'm still interested.
Kind of needed to. I mean, you're about to release a game to an audience, so probably best. I mean, don't be some people that I've seen in the past who would go and slag off a whole audience and then say, please buy my stuff.
Yeah. And then Cliff Blazinski showed up to show off his like multiplayer game called Lawbreakers, and I'm going to give him credit for one thing. He said
Jazz Jack Rabbit?
No.
Okay.
But because it's a multiplayer only game, he said it's going to be $30. We don't do any of this $60 multiplayer only bullshit. And I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. That's the only thing I would say when it comes to him.
Yeah, he's still apologising, which I find quite funny. Still apologising because people won't let it go.
I can't even remember what that was.
Basically, in layman's term, he was like, fuck PC, it's shit. Basically.
Funny.
And that's why he's at the PC press conference to say, hey, look, I mean, as soon as I have no fucking job now, hey, PC's pretty cool.
Yeah. But, so $30 like multiplayer only game. Yeah. And it looked fun from the little bit it's shown. So.
Interesting.
It wasn't that colourful, though, compared to some of the modern ones like Overwatch. But it still looked...
Well, everyone's after that Overwatch money now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone.
But
even DC.
Yeah, literally everyone. That was it for me for PC. The last bit they showed was kind of meh.
I don't have anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't even watch it.
Oh, okay. It was just...
I didn't watch
just you.
it.
They had Mountain Blade 2.
Oh, you're joking. Bannerlord.
Yeah, Bannerlord. They had that there.
Oh.
I thought you were going to talk about that.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch PC.
Fair enough.
I don't know why. I just didn't feel like it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I was exhausted.
Moving on to our next conference is another developer, one of the biggest ones in the gaming industry that have enough money to essentially go out and have a press conference, and that's going to be Ubisoft or however the hell you want to say it. Interesting one for the most part. Ubisoft, I would say, definitely had the most solid of all the press conferences for the most part, and definitely one that felt like it actually cared about its games and the people who make games and its audience, which was lacking from a lot of conferences that felt very cold for the most part. A lot of heart came from Ubisoft's, not from the next one we're going to talk about, but definitely from Ubisoft. Ace, anything you want to talk about regarding Ubisoft?
Yes. So the first one, this just made me smile because it was so cheerful. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh yeah.
The bait and switch of E3.
So the Ubisoft guy and Miyamoto came on, like, were on there. They both had the guns and they posed. And it was so dorky, but it was charming. I loved it.
And that was
Especially when the guy was talking.
I know.
We're gonna shoot these people now.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I mean, it was such an awesome language barrier.
Yeah,
it
I
just
know.
worked.
But the game, so
Yeah.
I don't like rabbits,
No.
but this game looks fun. It's the turn-based tactical, and it uses two mechanics. So the XCOM one of cover, and the jumping one, which is from Chroma Squad, which I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's combines both.
Like literally, the biggest surprise of E3
Yeah.
was this dumbass game actually looks good.
And Rabbit Luigi's in it. Who would have known?
Yeah, exactly.
He rose from YouTube to be in the game.
Yeah, YouTuber Rabbit Luigi, check him out. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's in it. He made it. All that hard work.
He actually changed his Twitter picture to, like, he put his face
Oh,
into
I bet he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, massively surprised that this game actually
Yeah.
looks decent. I mean, and the general consensus seems to be hate the rabbits, but this game looks
Yeah.
fun as hell.
Exactly.
Like,
and I'm excited for it.
Weird. I would not expect it to be a game. Simply
Yeah.
put. Like, it's weird. I'm shocked.
Because when they first announced it, I was like, oh no, this is going to be shit. And then I read somewhere, RPG, and I was like, I'm intrigued now. And then they showed it, I was like, yes!
It was more than just an RPG. It's
Yeah.
fucking XCOM with Mario characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So next is Skull and Bones. So it's this
The most original named
I know.
pirate game ever.
The name is horrible.
They were in the board
Yeah.
for hours just thinking of this name. They wanted it to be really unique.
Should we call it
stand
Jolly
out.
Roger?
Should we call it the Pirates?
Should we call it Blackbeard?
How about Black Flag? No, we did that. Don't
yeah.
move past. Come on.
Should we call it the Pirates?
2? Alongside number 3? 4?
But so the gameplay, they literally took from their Assassin's Creed pirate stuff, but they've like expanded on it. And if it wasn't multiplayer only so far, I would be interested.
Yeah, they didn't really specify whether there's going to be a story campaign or not, because you're just kind of controlling
Yeah.
ships.
And your friends can have ships, and you can form like a whole bunch of ships. But if it's got offline, like with bots or a single player, I'd be happy. But I'm not just going to get it if it's multiplayer only.
No,
And finally,
just real quick, I want to say,
go
I
ahead.
love the amount of people bitching about how many pirate games there are.
what?
There's not a lot of
Really?
pirate games.
Give me 20 more pirate games.
There's like
I'll be happy.
3 pirate games that everyone's going, too many pirate games, it's E3.
Fuck them.
Sea of Thieves, yeah, there's a pirate game, and you got this, and there's something else that's like
Assassin's
pirate.
Creed.
No,
No,
that's
that's
like Egypt
Oh.
Yeah.
Origins, and there's something else pirate. Like everyone's like, too many pirate games.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fuck
okay,
them.
just whatever. Go on.
So, Steep. Now, I think when Steep was first announced, we all kind of joked about it, like mockingly.
Yeah, it was like,
But it's such a peaceful game.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
so relaxing to just go down hills. So I actually recommend it if anyone
it's
has
very,
anxiety.
it's weirdly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the intention,
I
but
don't think it was.
it's a weird game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game I don't really like care
Yeah.
too much about. But I have
No.
no issue with it. It's not
Yeah.
damaging the
No.
fabric of the industry.
But so they announced DLC for this, being the Road to the Olympics, and the way they advertised it made it look like this over the top, really like woo action, you know, Olympics, yay! And it's like that's not Steep.
No,
Steep is calming. It has folk music. Come on.
You know, it has like a very soft-spoken narrator who
Yeah.
tells you instructions. You know.
But yeah, so they didn't advertise the game right.
No, but it's probably because it's like we said, they don't really
Yeah,
consider it to be a nice, fun journey down the hill.
exactly. you just relax.
They're trying to like sell it more as SSX.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get tricky.
Tricky. Where's my Run DMC?
Yeah.
For the most part. Ferret, you're looking like slightly confused.
Yeah.
Why?
It's got lost.
You got lost up in the hills of
In
Steep.
I was thinking about.
That's your happy place, isn't it?
And
Just
I was
going
like-
down like a hill on snow and that. You should probably play Steep then.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was weird. That's the first time I've ever actually like zoned out. Yeah.
The game will make you zone.
That was really.
Trust me.
That felt cool.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty much like the audience is going to zone out once we get to
Yeah.
Sony. Trust me.
But so I want to talk about 3 things about this next game, and that's really it.
Okay.
Because there's something I know someone else would want to talk about more. So Far Cry 5, okay?
Oh, yeah.
For one, the announcer, right? I couldn't stop laughing, because the announcer sounded like Zordon. So I thought he was going to say it's something, we need to team of overbearing and over-emotional humans. It just got to me too much. You know, too much pink power.
Yeah, I was just about to say too much pink energy is dangerous.
But that made me laugh already. So I was already watching because I was laughing too much. But this has the best dog of 2017. He runs, kills a guy, and grabs the gun and brings it to you. That's so cool. I love that.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. And then in one of the cars, someone had a vase bobblehead from Far Cry 3, which makes no sense, but it was funny. So that's really all I wanted to say about Far Cry 5.
I saw the trailer and some of the gameplay. It looks like more Far Cry, and that's fine. I just can't wait to see. I'm really enjoying the shitstorm this game is creating, because America does not like this game.
That's the thing. It's weird, isn't it?
It's because they don't It's because they don't like mirrors.
Yeah.
And also because there are people like that in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem.
That's
the big problem. And America's kind of like, don't let the world know America's kind of like this. Don't let people know 60% of the country is actually like this.
The funny thing is, I've heard people defending this, like Wolfenstein 2, like they're defending Far Cry 5, saying, why are you shooting these people? They just have a different opinion. And I'm like, oh my god, they're fucking Nazis! You twat!
You don't understand the fucking philosophy of a Nazi. It was like literally rounds down to about one race shall exist.
They don't understand fascism, I think.
Exactly.
No, they're just like 10-year-olds who don't know how to use the internet correctly. What do you mean World War One happened?
What do you mean they wanted to make an empire and wanted to make their history great?
What do you mean the Third Reich? What?
What do you mean black people can be racist? No, they can't.
What?
It's only white people who are racist. Come on now.
What do you mean there's only white and black people?
Oh god.
Yeah, you laugh. I've heard that.
No,
I
true.
know.
It's so irritating trying to find not darker than white, but higher than black colour. In a video game, it's the most annoying thing possible.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I'm enjoying it because people really don't like the ethics of it. Luckily enough, like Ubisoft is just ignoring it. Yeah, pretty much they're just like, whatever, we don't care, and which is
shoot these
good.
Arseholes.
Which is fine. I mean, you know, shooting people no matter what in what a game. I don't see people. It's literally just people getting upset that Americans are shooting Americans, and I'm like,
exactly.
I guess you never played Call of Duty then.
Yeah, rather than killing someone in Middle East, you know, they have to kill Americans now, and now they're sad.
It's because Americans love to feel like the heroes. Yeah. And for the ones,
but now they're both the heroes and the villains, so they don't know what to do.
You're not the hero now, Spider-Man.
Green Goblin DLC confirmed.
I need to have that game now.
Oh gosh, I mean it's fun. That's the only thing I like about this game. Far Cry is no matter what a fun game for the most part, and I mean I'm sure it'll be a fun game. I mean they know what they're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, but at least with some of those kinds of games, at least they're always doing a different theme, new characters, new voice acting, new location. They're at least doing something to warrant the number and to warrant me at least being interested. I mean, all of the Far Cry. At least it was different to some extent. But what I'm saying is, like, at least they did something with each game instead of other series where they just went, here's the same game again, but just keep on the low for the most part.
But that's all I've got to talk about. I know there's something we all kind of want to talk about, but I'm going to save that.
Ferret, do you have anything you want to talk about regarding Ubisoft?
I'll save it.
I'm going to save it? You're going to move it to me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk about the final game they kind of announced at Ubisoft, which is finally, after about 15 freaking years, the reconfirmation that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is actually happening finally.
Yes.
It's been way too long, ever since that trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, all the way in those other E3s. How many years ago that was?
I can't remember.
It's finally happening. And I mean, when they showed the trailer, we'll get to the trailer in a sec, seeing the director come out and almost about to cry, just like the response of people just so happy about it was like, it was a joyous moment for him, because it was like,
hit the heart.
The guy was just like, you could tell this guy just wanted to finally tell people the game's coming. I'm finally getting it done, you know, and I mean, it's awesome that the game looks promising as hell. The one downside I will say to this game is no gameplay.
Yeah.
But whatever. And also it's a prequel sequel, which I hate.
I was going to say that.
Not a fan of that.
No,
not a fan of that. I'd much rather have a continuation. But at the same time, the trailer was amazing. This game, if the game is even nearly close to what the gameplay actually is, then I'm already sold for this game, because the animation was of like the film quality. I mean, the characters are already freaking memorable at this point, and we don't even know their names or what they're about. I mean, you had the monkey with the robot arm who's got that British accent, and he's just like firing around. You got this other lady and all these other crazy pig characters, and it's just like, this world looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the original world was amazing, but we didn't quite get to see it in the first game, but the expansion and what is proposed is just exciting. It's really exciting, and I'm just so happy. I mean, and hype as well, just to see this game finally get through. Hopefully be good. I mean, obviously people are going to throw in the whole, it's been 15 years, it's going to be disappointing. But the one thing I will say is this man directed and worked on Rayman Legends.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy has been in charge of Rayman and UbiArts and a lot of other game projects since then. So please put your faith in him, because if this is just a trailer, hopefully the game will be good. I mean, it's going to be one of those cases where, worst case scenario, let's say the game's not great, you're still going to have interesting designed characters.
Exactly.
You already see good examples of good voice acting, and I mean, this is by far the most interesting game at E3 by far, and I'm just so excited. I'm just really happy.
I think, if I'm correct, they did say it's going to be single player and multiplayer.
Yeah, which should be interesting. I mean, they kind of hinted at that in the trailer for the most part. I mean,
so whether that's like hopefully maybe a couch co-op, or if not, playing online with your friends, that'd be cool.
My guess is you can play the second character you're always with, and it might be jump in, jump out.
That'd be cool.
Just so it's never fully interrupted for the most part. That's what I can think of, because the only thing I always give Ubisoft is they really understand multiplayer, and they always give you that online and couch co-op. Even in Rayman, I mean, they always gave you that for the most part. Which is good. They know what they're doing, and they know what gamers want for the most part, despite the fact their library is kind of on the small side for the most part. But if they can get more franchises and work on new stuff, we'll see what happens. They just need to grow, because they need more variety. That's the only thing Ubisoft is lacking, is variety. But they got Beyond Good and Evil, they're bringing that back. And if they had like 3 more like actual good franchises.
Get me to direct Watch Dogs. I'll do it better.
I really don't care about Watch Dogs, but I'd rather have them work on something that.
The problem is I do like it, but it's got so many flaws. Let me edit it. Say what you should do and not.
Let me edit this game.
Exactly.
I have no experience in gameplay.
I'd find all the files for gun and then press delete, and then it's better. The game's instantly better.
You made us $1 billion.
Exactly.
They're going to do a French accent, and I thought, no, I'm saving some accents for later.
Okay.
Right, I guess we can move on to the next conference, the big dog.
Yeah.
The one who's currently winning this race, kind of. The number one, the ruler, the Space Jam of E3, Sony.
Yeah.
And oh boy, did they disappoint.
Yeah, they really did.
Fucking hell.
So, I think I'm going to start this off with the one we've all been excited for. We've been waiting for years for this game. I mean, since the first one came out, we knew we had to get a second. Knack 2.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god.
Finally.
It's coming out this year, September 5th, and it's $40.
I will say, it is pretty rare to actually have a launch title actually get a sequel. It's crazy. Sony has a lot of faith in this.
Yeah.
Not sure why. But it is nice. I mean, for the team who are making just a fine, decent little game, jokes aside, sure. More power to them. You know what I mean?
The thing is, the meme is so strong, I'm contemplating buying these.
But the thing is, you should never really buy into the meme.
No, I know.
No, that's how you keep the meme alive.
I know. But I kind of want to buy it just, like, what if they actually improved?
I think it has improved, honestly. Just looking at the gameplay and the story, I think they have made improvements. I'm not going to take that away from them. But, I mean... Yeah, fine, whatever. I mean, that Knack seriously is a game that I do intend to play at some point. I mean, looks interesting enough.
Yeah, it really does.
Whatever.
So, one that I think is kind of the elephant in the room. And I kind of got to say it. So, Days Gone. So, Days Gone is The Last of Us with a biker. I don't know why they're trying to do more Last of Us.
I can tell you why.
Because it sold well.
Nope. It's because The Last of Us 2 isn't coming out anytime soon.
See, I was thinking that, and that's also why God of War was shown, because it's basically The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I see.
Last of Us, Naughty Dog are going to take their pretentious time to make that game.
Yeah.
That game is not coming out, and I'm going to call this, you can call me loud, whatever, 2019. That game is coming out 2019 late.
That's a good,
And Sony wants to take advantage of that market because there isn't going to be another Uncharted game for a long time. Naughty Dog have no interest in returning to anything that is interesting or fun or making anything original. I'm sorry, Naughty Dog fanboys, they're just not as good as they used to be. After Uncharted 2, they fucking died. And yes, I love The Last of Us, but
I'd say they kind of died before then.
Their pretentiousness after The Last of Us is way too distracting.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say, return back to Crash. No, all I'm saying is return to fun, return to gameplay, return to something. You lost a lot of good people, which obviously gets overshadowed because the fanboys don't talk about how we've lost some good writers and some good higher-ups for whatever reason. Don't know why. But we've lost some good... I don't know.
The money.
The money.
Yes.
Show me the money.
They need the money.
Money. What's that? A fiver? Get that out of here.
Get out of your pit.
So one of the best parts about the Days Gone presentation, okay, for some reason they zoomed out of the screen, like when there were zombies like hanging, and there was live like actors hanging like zombies flailing about.
Yeah, it was random, but it was like... I thought it was a nice touch. I mean, it was random.
I laughed so loud. I had to rewind because I couldn't remember what they said.
I didn't get it, but it was a nice touch. It was a shame there wasn't too much interactiveness, except for one other game which we're going to talk about, where it was like, we got to wheel in the big screen for this one.
But that was so fucking funny. I couldn't stop.
The whole game is funny.
And then when the zombie bear popped up, and I was like, oh, you already got beat by Metro with the bear.
Yeah.
So, tough luck, mate.
And not even just by Exodus, as I've already said, Last Light.
Yeah. But and then for some reason it went to the crowd and there were two people doing the like we're not worthy.
I love that.
And that was so terrible.
No,
like,
those two people are my favourite.
I'm sorry. This is a really lackluster game.
I know.
Honestly, I mean, you know what this game actually reminds me of?
Go on.
Ride to Hell Retribution.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has that kind of feel.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's a biker.
Well, yeah.
He rides a bike.
Yeah.
And he is part of a biker
But
gang
it
and all
looks
this kind of
terrible.
rubbish. I mean, I'm really unimpressed by this game.
Yeah.
I was like, for an original game, this is not very original, and I was just like, I was literally like boring.
And they showed the same place again.
Which bit?
Because this game has existed for a while. Is that what you're referring to?
Because they showed it at last E3 when he was in this area, like sawmill, and he was running away from the horde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means they're just quite...
I don't care. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess The Last of Us makes sense, but the thing is, why didn't you just make another Last of Us game?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get the subdivision of Naughty Dog to work on that? Oh, I'm sorry, you need everyone, all hands on deck for Last of Us 2, excuse me.
The Last of Us Part 2.
No,
it's like the
2.
Godfather 2.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Roman numerals.
Whenever someone does that, I will call it 2.
No, I agree.
Get your Part 2 out of here because that wasn't an intention. Last of Us could have been a fail, and you wouldn't have had Part 2 planned. Sorry. We hate on Naughty Dog a lot only because I want them to return to gameplay and games because last Uncharted 4... Where's the gameplay, guys?
I told you before, there's like one bit in the game where a game appears, and I was surprised, but it's only like one level, and then the rest is just a cutscene, and I want to go back to that game.
Yeah, I want to go back to like Uncharted 2 when I was like actually like shooting people on a train, and I was like, oh my god, gameplay. And then the bit where I was driving cars and I was jumping on cars and I was shooting people, and I was like, oh my god, I can't handle the fact that I'm actually controlling this instead of the game doing it for me.
So the next game that I want to talk about, so Monster Hunter World.
Oh yes.
Console. PlayStation 4 console worldwide.
Yes. Yes.
This
where's my notes?
Looks pretty nice.
Yes.
Looks pretty nice.
This was a damn clever move by Sony.
It was
I've
beautiful.
never played one of them before, so I don't know what's new, but just setting up the traps looked cool.
I've been playing this game since the first one.
Yes.
With Aaron.
And I could bounce for him, yeah.
And it's it was the first of all the best handheld games on the
PSP,
PS,
DS,
hands down.
3DS.
Yeah, all of that perfect. And this is just the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And you know the Reddit has been going crazy
I
because
can imagine.
in Japan they announced Double X, Double Cross,
okay.
which nothing new. Japan always gets the good shit with Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
But this is the first time this is an actual continuation. We're not getting like a
Whole new game, whole new
side
world,
part.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
We're not getting like, because usually the West gets like
The
a
jokey
kind of
one with the
complete-
cats.
like the DLC type bundled
Yeah.
in. This is a continuation, and it's actual standalone. Oh,
Very clever
so
move
happy.
from Sony, because Sony knows that next to Dragon's Quest, Monster Hunter sells like
Yeah.
hotcakes
Yeah.
in Japan. And the fact that, even just an example right here, right now, Ace has never played a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah.
Ace, are you going to possibly
Hell
play
yes.
this game? Okay.
I want
This
it.
is going to introduce so many people to Monster Hunter, and is going to make big bucks for Capcom, big bucks for Sony, because Monster Hunter has always been good. Not the prettiest games ever, but it's never been about the graphics with Monster Hunter. It's always been about that gameplay.
Never.
Always about that gameplay.
Because I have been looking for it on the 3DS,
Really?
but most of the times when I go in stores, they don't have it.
Because everyone's already bought
Exactly. So
It's got a really dedicated
Yeah.
fan base as well, so
Yeah.
you know
Hardcore fan
you will
base.
be able to play this
Yeah.
game for years on end and still
Exactly.
have
with
people
people
online.
Yeah.
as well.
People online and everything.
So finally, there's going to be one on console, and I'm like, yeah, purchase. I'm getting this.
One thing I do want to say as well regarding the gameplay is I'm actually really happy that they took one of the best concepts from Dragon's Dogma and are incorporating it
Oh,
kind of
climbing.
which is
Yeah.
climbing the
Yes.
monsters. Of course, like
Oh,
awesome.
they
was
did
amazing.
have that in like the fourth one,
Yeah.
Okay.
and the generations, but it's really been improved
Yeah.
that it's actual.
They've definitely made it more of like, you know,
Fantastic.
he's leaping on the
Yeah.
thingies, he's like, you know, grapple hook, get back on it, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know, which I think is the perfect thing to add to this
It
game.
really is.
I was really happy with this. Like I said, I hope more people get into Monster Hunter because it's a really great franchise, and Sony's been killing it with the RPGs for
Really,
the most
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I mean, Sony is keeping the fans of RPGs, JRPGs, all those kinds of stuff very happy for the most part. They're
Yeah.
bringing over games that we would have never got 5 years ago, or even if we did, they'd only get like one copy over, and you'd have to
Yeah.
pre-order or something like that. Mainstream with the anime, Sony is very
Yeah.
well aware of that.
They really are.
Which I couldn't be more happy about, honestly.
And apparently, it's coming like early 2018. So
Very early.
maybe I'll get it for my birthday. That'd be great.
I think
see.
it's usually it comes out in March,
Oh, okay.
around there.
Yeah.
That's generally when it
Capcom
comes
is
out.
Capcom's new form is kind of like 3 major games a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
We have another game we're going to talk about, and they haven't said what the final game is going to be
Okay.
for this year.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I know their Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 is coming out.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Major AAA.
Yeah, major. So the next thing, continuing on that climbing of monsters, Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a full remake like of Shadow of the Colossus, and this came out of nowhere, like completely out of nowhere.
It did, didn't it? Like,
Yeah,
caught me by surprise. I mean,
there was no speculation, no rumors, no leaks, no nothing. It's just, yep, we're remaking it, and it's like, all right.
I'm actually quite happy about it because it's quite difficult to find.
The thing,
Well, they did re-release
It's
it. though.
really not hard. There's a copy right there
Really?
yeah.
on my shelf. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I just haven't searched.
Oh, sorry, I removed it from my shelf.
Oh.
The problem is, recently I just bought the PS3 like Ico Shadow of the Colossus collection.
Oh, I see.
So it's
Oh,
kinda
yeah,
like-
they had a
yeah,
remaster
yeah.
and stuff.
So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got that sitting with my games. I'm like, oh,
Ah.
okay.
Can we get to real talk
Yes.
real quick with this? This is by far the most disappointing thing at E3
Okay.
for me, because why would they remake this?
That's
what
This
I'm
game is not
confused
even
about.
that old. I mean, it's a classic.
Why not just make
I mean-
a second one?
I think because people were disappointed in The Last Guardian, so it's like, get something out there that people love.
But they would have had to. They would have had to have anticipated this disappointment then.
Well, it was one of those, it's taken forever development hell games, so...
But what if it was a success and everyone
No,
was
I
like,
know.
"We want a Last Guardian 2"? What if
Yeah.
it was like, what if the studio was like, "Yeah, we're working on an original game while
Yeah.
we're working on Last Guardian," and they're getting another studio to do it,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's. I mean, I'll say this, it looks nice.
Yeah,
It looks,
it does.
looks mine, but it's basically copy and paste.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I knew it was Shadows of
Yeah.
the Colossus because the Colossus look exactly the same.
Yeah,
you haven't
exactly.
done anything.
Yeah.
You haven't changed the art style. There's no one's interpretation. This is a copy and paste remake, and that is so lazy and it's so unforgivable.
Yeah.
The only possible thing is if they included a bunch of the monsters that they end up cutting out.
No, they won't, because this is your childhood.
Fair enough.
This is this
nostalgia sells.
this really pissed me off because this is basically saying, fuck it. We know you'll buy it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We're going to remake your whole childhood because that's all you fuckers care about. It's literally what Sony's saying. You had Crash Bandicoot. They're going to do it with everything at this rate.
It was Spyro.
No, they're not remaking Spyro.
Skylanders sells like crazy.
Oh, yeah, Skylanders. Shit.
Yeah, I was like, come on, we don't need this. You how many original titles do you have? How many indie games do you have? How many studios do you have working for you? And you go, let's remake Shadow of the Colossus. A game that's like 17 years old. Like, why?
And it has like, it doesn't even have the biggest fandom ever.
And then you did nothing with it.
Doesn't need to.
You did nothing with it. Even at least the Crash remake has a different, somewhat art style to it. You can see that progression has been made in some sense, although it looks kind of ugly.
I'd say regression.
Yeah, although it looks ugly, something's there. But this is just like, oh, okay. I mean, I think the people cheering this on, I was just like, wow, that's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
But then
Exploitation.
Yeah, I was like, come on now, guys. Like, really? Like, what game is it going to take for you guys to go, actually, we don't like that? Is it Last of Us? Do we have to remake The Last of Us for you guys to go, hold on, stop. Can you not do that? I mean, because we all know Uncharted remake's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Uncharted 1 remake is coming.
It is.
And
I'm not talking about the re-release.
Terrible.
I'm talking about the remake. They're going to remake it. And it won't be Naughty Dog. Oh, no, it won't be Naughty Dog. Trust me. It'll be some studio who only worked on mobile games who are remaking this. And then you guys will know. Looks this is absolutely terrible. I mean, just what a way to piss away money.
As I said, if it has the extra stuff that they end up cutting out, then maybe I'll consider.
No, they won't put it there because that's
if
what
they don't, then I won't.
No, because the fans will get scared of that because it's not what they remember.
Be a good way of shocking them.
No.
People don't
play
like
it safe.
Surprise.
Well,
play it
those
safe.
guys can go fuck themselves, and then they'll be surprised.
Play it safe. They're scared of the reviews. If they put in these new DLC bosses or whatever, they'll be like, "Oh no, it's not my childhood." 6 out of 10.
Fuck them. So, before I get on to the last one I'm specifically going to talk about, I wanted to say how much Sony decided to talk about VR.
Good lord.
Oh god, they were catering to VR like... it was so dumb. This is where they showed Skyrim VR for one. It wasn't at Bethesda's. But then they've got all these random games that I've never heard of and
all
probably
these
won't.
randies, yeah.
Including a side-scroller game that's VR. What the fuck? How do you do a VR side-scroller? It didn't look like any normal side-scroller.
I ignored VR so hard.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes, ironically.
And the funniest one, this made me laugh, okay. Who the fuck gives a shit about a VR Final Fantasy fishing game?
Oh yeah, that was
Like,
just
what
DLC.
the fuck?
I saw the title
dumb.
and I was like...
Monster of the Deep.
I
was like, some interesting DLC. I'm guessing they're going to be bringing back some of the classic like monsters, like that serpent thing. You're going to have to find it, go underwater and stuff like that. And it was like fishing with like rock music playing, and I was like, get that shit out of here.
You know, when he was handing me a shish kebab, I was just pissed off. He was like that. He's all shaking everywhere like he's got fucking Alzheimer's. What's that shaky disease?
I can't remember what it's called. That Parkinson's.
Parkinson's. Like he has Parkinson's.
Well, that's almost every VR experience.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's just shaking everywhere. VR.
Like there was a VR game where the character you look like looks like No Face from Spirited Away, and I was so confused. It made no sense. But I mean, the good one is Super Hot for VR. That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense, and Super Hot's a great game. So whatever.
Yeah. So the actual one I want to talk about, this is my one. Spider-Man, PS4 exclusive.
Spider-Man.
I like
the hero Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero.
So
him and Batman should team up for the next film.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I liked the combat and the stealth. For one, the combat interacting with the environment is something I've been wanting since Sleeping Dogs, because that did it good, and no other game has really done it. Like Arkham Knight touched it, but not much.
Oh, shots fired.
Spider-Man, it's going in. It's like, use your weapon to bring like this girder over and smack someone in the face with it. It's like, yes,
That was dope.
it's great. But here's where the problem is. Those quick time fucking shits. Like, what the fuck? Why?
I mean, I'll give the game, because I've been very harsh on Spider-Man for like the last 2 weeks. If you listen to the podcast,
On everything as
very
well.
harsh on Spider-Man. So obviously, when it came to the gameplay, I was like, Ooh, shake my hand. Let's see what's. Are
Get
you,
your
are you,
notepad.
yeah, pretty much get the shit post online.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll give the game this. It does look really fun.
Yeah.
It does.
I'll give it this. Insomniac know what they are doing. This is the same people who made Ratchet and Clank and went on to do Sunset Overdrive, an Xbox game no one played, which was fun as hell.
Well, it was colourful. What do you expect with Xbox? No
That's
one's
why it
gonna
didn't
buy
sell. No,
Exactly.
no, and it was Insomniac. It had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do have a little bit of an issue with the fact that they copied Batman Arkham's gameplay style, because I mean, if you're gonna, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna copy someone, copy the best.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I'm taking originality points away.
Yeah.
You should have done something more original with that combat, guys.
Also, the fact is, like, in Arkham, when you've got like counter and stuff like that, it doesn't put a button above your head. It does the reaction thing.
Yeah.
In this, there was like triangle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no. That's the
cringy.
bad thing.
No.
And,
That's how you make a shit game.
Yeah.
It is worrying because the gameplay and the combat was like fine and all that, and some of the stealth was fine, but I noticed that those animations are pretty long.
Yeah.
For doing a lot of the stealth takedowns. I was like, can we get back to the game,
That's
please?
gonna get
And then
annoying, I think,
and then the trailer, the game. Well, let's use the rabbit ears. The gameplay trailer. It just turned into a quick time event, and I was like, "That's I don't feel like Spider-Man."
Same.
I
don't want that.
No, thank you. I mean, that kind of killed the game for me, because it was like, hey, this is a really bright, colorful, fun game. Spider-Man's pretty cool, and he's actually doing some stuff. But then it's like quick time event, and I'm gonna kind of fight the boss, kind of, and Spider-Man is killing innocent people because he's incompetent. Yes, he's still a kid, but
one thing I noticed, like, at one point you kick someone, they go flying off, and I don't know if the guy pressed the button to bring him back, or if the game did it automatically, but...
I mean, it's probably going to be one of those cases of, don't worry about it.
Basically killed him.
Yeah, he killed a lot of, like, civilians, and then you got like, this random bitch screaming at you, and I'm like, oh, please, let's not have that.
Oh, she's
program that in.
She's supposed to be a police officer lady.
Something like that, and I'm like,
What?
we don't need some random woman going, you're not doing it right.
Police officers screaming like
Yeah.
that.
Cool thing. So, Mr. Negative's going to be in this game. He was a more recent, like, Spider-Man villain. So I'm glad there's a new villain getting exposure. That's cool.
I mean, the only problem with that villain is it's very easy to beat him for the most part.
They haven't shown his powers properly.
Give him some antidepressants.
That is he goes full like crazy Dark Force powers. It's pretty cool.
Is that the guy who was in the trailer?
Yeah, the guy on the helicopter.
He looked kind of dumb. I didn't like his animation.
No, he's like
his animation looked his animation looked like a glitch. I'm not saying the character's dumb. I'm just saying his animation looked like a glitch. It looked like it looked like a texture glitch.
Okay.
It looked like something went wrong with the lighting.
He's supposed to look that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sound like that representative.
Shut up. It looks fine.
It's not a problem. It's intentional, I swear.
Should be like Nintendo. Oh, just ignore that glitch.
Yeah. But and the other thing right at the end, Miles Morales, they teased him.
Yeah, they showed him off, which is weird.
Yeah, so I don't know if like you're gonna play as him as well, or if it's gonna be like hey, maybe the next game.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that.
It's like 2 Spider-Mans, I guess.
Well, that did happen in the comics for a while.
I know that's not impossible, but like it's like I don't know why he's there. I mean, did that 100% get confirmed?
Well, he literally said, "Hey, Miles, you coming?"
Oh, I was about to say, did people just see a black guy and go, Miles Morales?
No, Peter Parker literally called him Miles.
Okay.
Gambino.
Jeez.
Could you imagine? He just said, childish.
Oh no.
That would be funny.
But yeah, that's what I really wanted to talk about.
You know, it'd be a nice touch if they start playing like Redbone in the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they
should license some Childish Gambino songs just to put it there. That would be a nice touch.
But yeah, that was my last Sony thing.
Oh, is there anything I have? Ferret, do you have anything
For this? No,
for Sony? The only thing I wanted to talk about, and it's not very positive at all, because Spider-Man was really what I wanted to end on, but yeah, Spider-Man is worrying.
Okay.
It's worrying. I have so much faith in Insomniac. So Insomniac will make a good game.
Yeah.
But some of these dumb decisions and quick time events and you're stupid, let me show you how to play, and and lack of cutscenes and no gameplay. It's just like final game I want to talk about is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Okay.
After Xbox showed off that Dragon Ball Z game,
Oh yeah.
which I don't care about Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, I'm sure the fans are gonna love this. It looks great for the fans, and I mean, hopefully the game does well because it looks really pretty. Everyone's kind of noticing how ugly this game is, being Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and this is a very, very ugly looking game. The character models are horrendous, and voice acting is pretty terrible. Like, I could do a better job for the most part. I don't know who is voicing Rocket Raccoon, but
that was horrible.
Clearly, he has never seen what Rocket Raccoon looks like.
Yeah.
And granted, it's hard to kind of give a voice to an animal, but I could do much better voice. Even I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He voices Nathan Drake in Uncharted.
Oh, Nolan North.
Yeah. He's currently voicing Rocket Raccoon in the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy game, and he's doing a pretty good job on that because he gets that Rocket Raccoon's kind of a weird asshole.
Yeah.
So here it's just like I said,
reserved.
I don't think the guy has. I don't think anyone has seen what their characters actually look like.
Yeah.
And that was extremely distracting. And I mean, it's kind of cool that there's a story mode, but the loading times to actually get to the battles are really upsetting.
I skipped all of Marvel vs. Capcom besides that one bit.
Basically, what happens is, just from what I've seen, is a cutscene with two characters because it's not 3v3 anymore; it's 2v2 for some dumb reason. And there's like two characters fighting. Let's say, so you have Thor and Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, and they're like, "Oh man, there's too many enemies." And then it's like, "Oh, we gotta take them on." And then it goes to a loading screen, and then I kid you not, there was one section where it had a cutscene, went to a loading screen, loaded a 5-second cutscene, then went to gameplay.
Oh no!
And I was like, "This game's got some issues."
Serious issues.
I mean, unfortunately, the only cool thing about this is like Ultron, Sigma X combined. That's a really cool concept, really awesome design, and I like the idea because Voltron is a shit villain, but
no, Ultron's
great. No, Ultron is
shit. You have not read the comics.
Not this again.
He's amazing. Ultron is great in the comics.
Every time I see Ultron, I turn the cover around.
I think this is like the 5th time we've had this. It's always the two.
It's because I read the comics and they're good.
If this is the first time you've listened to a Ferret and Raccoon podcast, this is a somewhat recurring discussion regarding
Fang is great, I tell you.
Oh gosh, no, that's too obscure. That's for the true fans.
Exactly.
Right? But I mean, this is not looking great.
No.
And for Marvel vs. Capcom, come on guys, come on son, come on son, don't make me have to like sit this game down and talk to you, be like, "Hey sport, want to talk about it?" I don't want to have to do that.
And I know what the problem is with the art style. They've got high saturation, so the colours are so bright and vivid and strong.
The contrast is blending in, and
then the high contrast. And moving that at quick speed is going to look disgusting.
I mean, the gameplay looks fine. It's just the cutscenes. It's just like really horrendous. Like
the whole thing looks
no joke. Look at the character model for Dante. It is scary. It's scary.
God, yeah.
I sent it to you. It's scary. I don't know what happened there. I was like, oh lord, and I know I even sent Ace the same image where someone took some of the models from the game and put it on the front cover of Tekken 2 for PS1, and no joke, Ace couldn't really tell what the joke was because it worked so well because they look like Tekken 2 models.
I was like, wait, what? What's going on?
No joke. When I first saw that image, I didn't see Chris Redfield and Dante. I was like, Tekken 2, what?
The first thing I saw was Chris Redfield with a gun, and I was like, why is Chris there? And then my mind just didn't put it together, because I started noticing all the others, like, why are they here?
I'm not happy with this. I mean, after the disappointment that was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's like,
That had the same contrast and colour problem.
But it had like more of a style to it, and the character models actually look like something, as opposed to their... Because, once again, look at Dante. Yeah. His hair is unfinished. Yeah. Compared to his model in 3 where his hair looks fine, it moves, and here it just looks rough and he looks like some weird demon. Yeah, I know he's half demon, but he looks like a demon here to some extent. But at least it's the old school Dante, fair enough. Really, really not happy with this game.
I think the last thing we should say is Undertale's getting a PS4 edition.
Yes,
which
for anyone
is cool.
who's been meaning to play Undertale and give Toby Fox more money, now's the time. Because Undertale's a pretty fun game that's fairly important in gaming industry for the most part, and yeah, I'm just happy about that. Special edition, PS4, PS Vita. I'm probably going to get it for PS Vita.
Yeah.
Maybe I get the special edition. Who knows? But yeah, just letting you guys know. Just nice little surprise. And a fun trailer too.
Exactly.
Also, it's got like Japanese, like that, Japanese as well. So
Yeah.
Japanese subtitles and voice acting, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Moving on to our final main conference, and that is Nintendo Treehouse.
Yes.
Nintendo doing their own thing. Nintendo. I mean,
Wow.
you had something there.
Yeah.
Ace. Let's start with you for Nintendo because there's quite a few things we can cover on this one.
So I'm going to talk about the worst thing first, okay?
Okay.
Because this actually made me really sad.
Mhm.
So they're doing a remake of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions.
Not necessary.
But that's not even the worst thing. It's got updated graphics, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Quote marks. The game looks horrible.
I hate this art style.
Okay, the thing is, it's the exact same sprites. What they've said is the difference is they've got 3D lighting in the game now. And that makes it look terrible.
It's the art style from the fourth RPG one, which I did not like, and I do not like that art style whatsoever.
Because the previous ones are really nice and bright and colourful.
Yeah.
And this looks really horrible because of it.
Yeah, so you have Superstar Saga, the original on a GBA, you have Partners in Time on a DS, and Bowser's Inside Story on, I think it's DS, yes.
Yeah.
All had a very unique art style, very cartoony, felt somewhat harken back to the RPG on the Super Nintendo for the most part.
Yeah.
But not a fan of this because Superstar Saga is one of my favourite RPGs of all time, and I don't think I've ever told anyone that it is a fantastic game.
It's really fun.
Not needed.
I don't even know much about Bowser's Minions because the game was so ugly I didn't want to watch.
You're not missing anything. I think we
Nah.
clicked off at the same time.
Yeah.
I clicked off when it started running. I just clicked it off with
Yeah.
the leader.
I was not happy about this.
I was like,
by
no
far,
thanks.
not needed. No one. I don't think anyone was going, please remake Superstar Saga.
Yeah.
And
like-
then I'll just play it again.
No.
Exactly.
Stop wasting my time. Yeah, it's a hard game to find, but whatever.
So there are two games that are basically, like one literally got a mention and one was like a 50-second logo.
Yeah.
So they're making a Pokemon game for the Switch and that's basically it.
Yeah.
You know, probably because they realised how bad the director went to people.
Yeah, so we talked about this on the previous podcast of Ultra Salt,
Yeah.
which is the theme of that,
That-
Pokemon Direct. And they need to anyway.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
And they announced Metroid Prime 4 will also come to the Switch.
Finally.
So that was it, the logo, and that got millions of views.
Oh.
Which is hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah, I also should mention Samus Returns on the 3DS, which is a remake of Metroid 2.
Now we know why they went after that cease and desist for the fan game.
Yeah.
That's it, because they had this in the making. So it's like, and I watched all 47 minutes of that Metroid.
I didn't because I'm not too familiar with Metroid 2. I've only ever played Fusion, which is canonically Metroid 4.
Yeah. Metroid 2 is so underrated it hurts.
Yeah.
It introduces a lot of new mechanics.
Every Metroid game on the GBA is simply put.
They're brilliant. And I watched the whole 47 minutes and I was very intrigued.
I like the look of it, and it's a game I might play after I play the original because I'm kind of glad they did that one instead of Fusion because Fusion's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy that they're at least going, look, Metroid's back.
Yeah.
Here you go. The only issue right now is who's making it.
I can't remember who they said.
Haven't said.
No.
They haven't said who's making Prime nor this one. I mean, it might just be Nintendo making Samus Returns.
Possibly.
But we don't know anything about Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Retro is going to return. Maybe they are.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, maybe we'll get someone else. Maybe it'll be a big surprise and it's like Konami or someone like that. Who knows?
But one of the things I definitely wanted to mention, this is just a little thing, but I quite like it. If an enemy goes to like charge attack at you, you can like counter. Like just do a melee counter.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
did
It
like
looks
that.
so
yeah.
good.
Really
I thought that was
cool.
really,
Yeah, it's a nice
really
little
good.
extra.
Really
Yeah.
improving on the original to some
And
extent.
it stuns the enemy, and if you attack straight after that, you critical hit them. But if
Yeah.
not, you can still just shoot them.
Nintendo copying Bloodborne
Yeah,
perfectly.
Exactly.
So
So
that was a really good bit. Yeah.
that was exciting to see.
Good stuff. I mean, I'm obviously I'm more happy about Samus Returns because I got to see it.
Yeah, yeah. And I just want to say these because they were kind of random and they were just there.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirby and Yoshi 2018.
Yeah.
Like, two random games. And it's like, yeah, here they are.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. And I think the Kirby one's a remake. I'm not
it?
sure.
Almost.
I mean,
I'm not sure because a lot of people get very confused because a lot of recurring characters and bosses always appear in Kirby
especially
games.
the tree. It's always there.
It's
so,
it's like the most prolific boss in all of video game history.
So take what I've said with a massive grain of salt, an ultra salt, if you will. I had to. I really did.
Dear.
And the last one, actually, I was going to say the last one, but it's not. So they showed Zelda DLC, and it wasn't good.
They kind of showed it. I don't think
I
don't think they really showed anything. Honestly,
They
I
just
watched that
naked,
gameplay. They didn't really show anything.
Fighting
They didn't
with
see
a
anything.
branch.
They showed the master trials, and it was basically there's a whole bunch more trials, and you're like, not more, please, not more. There are too many already.
The only good thing about this DLC is the official artwork for the DLC. It looks pretty cool. It looks nice. I like the
nice.
you see all the characters and that's pretty cool. That should have been the box art, honestly. That's the only good thing that's come of it. I really don't care about Zelda DLC.
Yeah. But more amiibos. They're also doing more.
We got tons of amiibos. I wish I could collect amiibos because I don't have the space.
They've got all 4 of the champions. They're amiibos now.
They're gonna
Buy
go in
them.
3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna get stolen in a van.
Oh yeah, they will.
Exactly. I've got my van ready,
Hey,
guys.
you don't need to know about that. Come on.
I've got my LAN ready, guys.
Yes.
Let's play some games.
Yes, I'm sure the shipment will arrive on time when scheduled.
Yeah.
I know. It will.
So, Super Mario Galaxy.
Woo!
They showed a lot of this because I watched the gameplay as well.
This is the poster boy for the Switch.
Now, I did not know that Mario, in its mythology, had the brain slugs from Futurama that just takes over people's minds. That came out of nowhere for me. Because that hat is a literal brain slug. And you basically throw your hat, you take control of things like a T-Rex.
Oh, that was a big surprise, I think.
Yeah.
Just this whole concept.
Exactly.
Really is really cool. And also the fact that hats is very prominent, which I do think is maybe a slight dig at Team Fortress 2, possibly.
Apparently the pre-order actually comes with a Cappy hat for you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I might pre-order.
Yeah.
Right, let's do this.
Load it up. I got credit cards.
Ignore the typing. Really impressed with this game.
Yeah,
It looks fun.
I mean, this is definitely harking back to like 64 and trying to be a Switch successor, but doing way more with what they have and really expanding on that. I mean, it's got. The main thing I'm hoping is going to be really big, and really long. That seems to be a trending theme with Switch games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true,
With Wii U, it was more spin-off.
Yeah.
This seems to be big, massive, would take you hours to do kind of games, which I'm a big fan of.
What I've always loved about Nintendo, that they've always tried to push their capabilities of the console to the extremes. You know, like even the old games like Legend of Zelda on 64. So super long, you get your money's worth. I feel that's what they're trying to do here, adding so much content, but also making the world seem very vast and very vast.
The maps are massive.
Incredible.
I mean, the one, I can't remember the name, but the one where it was in like that like reddish desert area.
Oh yeah.
It's massive, and then the game gives you like this like stone line thing, which you can run around the whole map to find more stars, which are moons, which are hidden. And I also like the fact that unlike 64, when you collect a star or moons in this case,
You don't
doesn't
get kicked
picked
out.
The game just goes, you got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep
And
going.
you can still journey around.
Keep
That's
going,
great.
which I think is awesome. I mean, I like the fact that they've literally gone, don't interrupt the gameplay. Just keep going.
Exactly.
You know, because I mean, there's going to be problem solving. There's going to be strategy to it. I mean, you're going to beat this stage and there's 20 moons in this one stage, but you only got 15.
Yeah.
And you're going, but I've been everywhere. Like, where's the last 5? You know, that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like the stuff. I like the fact they're talking about you're going to have to be a little bit more daring. You're going to have to try some things. You're going to have to see, like, I think they've literally said, you're going to want to throw your hat at everything.
Yeah, that's what I was
which
gonna
is
say.
Which is a pretty great idea.
I love that.
So it should be a good tagline as well.
Like, it even goes crazy with the, like, the traversal of the areas.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, one of the things, there was these kind of, I'm not exactly sure, just like a kind of pole thing. Throw your hat on it, and then you can swing yourself up. It's amazing.
That's what I
It's
loved.
great stuff, and the fact that even in Dunk City, you can
New
like
Donk City.
climb most of the buildings, you
Yeah.
can just jump off them, and there's like everything all hidden. I mean, they
You can
really
throw your hat on a fucking fire extinguisher. Everything seems interactive.
You can throw your hat on a person and control them.
which is really great, and I think
Jump
this
on
is
a
exactly what Nintendo needs, and I'm
No.
glad people are excited for this game because Nintendo Switch really needs another big seller. I mean,
Yeah.
it's coming very soon. I mean, once again, this game comes out this year.
Yeah.
Which I was not expecting that. I thought this game
Same.
was like early 2018, but
Yeah.
they're like coming out this year. I mean, game needs a little bit of polish, but in that time, I'm sure, I mean, the way they talk, they have like 8 builds every 2 weeks because because I mean, the way Nintendo works, it's literally the case of, hey, while you were playing that demo, I made a whole nother map.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, that's just how Nintendo is. I think kind of going back to the whole story of how they have like a whole tiny division within Nintendo that just works on levels for Mario, and that's all they do is they just come up with ideas,
That is fantastic.
which is just I like to imagine it's just 2 guys who just sit there with like playing games and they go, what if we had a level where it was like get a bit weed up and I'm just
Yeah.
LSD. Go
LSD.
full Beatles experience on them.
What if Mario turns into a yellow submarine? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me finish.
One level is literally the word number 5 being repeated again and again. You have to platform off of them. It's great.
Another
Why not
guy's
jump
like,
into a fish.
real shit, bro. Real shit, man.
It's too deep. I'm going deeper in the water.
Oh, I'm really, really impressed with this game. I can't wait for this game to come out. I can't wait for people to go, oh my god, look at this, I found this and all that. And it kind of has like a bit of an old school kind of gamey thing. Because I can see it's definitely going to be one of those games where it's like, help, I can't find the last moon. Does anyone know where it is? I've been over here and I found the secret one there, but I just can't find this last moon.
Well, you didn't throw your hat at this thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it's
oh,
literally
yeah.
someone just going, well, you didn't stomp on the ground right there. That's what it is.
There's one out the window, innit?
You know,
And then
stuff
throw
like
your
that.
hat at that.
Yeah, exactly. I also like.
Just jumps. That'd be amazing.
I also like the fact that the main antagonist, the Broodals,
Yes,
which are these like 4 rabbits who are organizing Bowser's wedding to Peach, and they are essentially henchmen, wedding planners, and they're rabbits. They're all like Western-ish themed,
Yeah.
which is just so bizarre,
It's
but
great.
it works so well. It's a nice, refreshing change. I love the design of all these guys. I love they're just floating in a ship and they're just like, yeah, Mario's an issue for the wedding, or we'll take care of him, kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
All have hats. Everyone has a hat. All the Goombas have hats, and they have hats, and the bombs have hats, and... Whew,
I love
And,
hats.
Mario can buy souvenirs from each of the worlds and put it in his ship.
which is a nice touch.
That's amazing.
Which is a nice
like
touch.
that.
I like that.
That
It's
is
kind of
good.
going back to Galaxy,
Yeah.
in a sense, with the Exploratorium, or whatever it was called. Cannot wait for this game. By far, one of the... most impressive things. The most game of all the games at E3, I would definitely have to say that much. Ferret, anything you want to talk about regarding E3? Nintendo.
No, everything's really been said.
Oh,
about
okay.
Yeah.
I
I talked about basically everything.
Yeah.
I think I have, I think it's 2 more I have to talk about. Yeah, I have 2 more real quick. So, the only other 2 I want to talk about is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Everyone did.
Oh my god.
Well, first thing I gotta say, the unnecessary English voice acting that played over characters even when they weren't talking was hilariously bad, and I have no idea why they did that.
Xenoblade's always had bad English voice.
No, but
acting, I
I'm
have to
talking
say
about
that.
this is very last minute recording because there's points where characters are talking
Oh,
even despite the
yes.
fact nothing's happening and
Oh,
their
that's
mouths are not
true.
moving.
Yeah.
No need for that. I could have figured out what was going on through visuals. Thank you.
Yeah.
The game has a mixture of the combat system from Tales of Xillia with the whole linking up together and pairing up, which I think is a great idea for them to take, and also reminds me of the anime Soul Eater with weapons having human-like forms for the most part. I'm not sure if everyone is like that, but whatever.
Something annoyed me about this game.
What was that?
So when they were talking about stuff, they were using a concept like the world tree from Norse mythology, and then you just start talking about this other stuff, and it's like, no, that's Greek mythology. Stop fucking up the mythologies, you guys. Stop.
Well, it's a fantasy game.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that,
As
you
long as
invent
nothing
something.
Greek appears, then yeah, that shouldn't be an
But
issue.
They said the Aegis, which is a Greek thing.
No,
and
they-
they said the Norse thing, the world tree.
He's talking about they mixed up the...
They're
now that-
mixing
I know that,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is
Oh,
I'm saying as long as they don't actually make hardcore reference to it,
Oh,
those
it-
things, and
yeah.
then get it 100% wrong, because it's probably just a case of it might be a translation issue, or someone literally went, hey, these two ideas are pretty cool, let's combine them. That could be their intention.
It was just like, no, stop, do something different.
You need to remember that everything doesn't have to be a reference.
Okay, but they're literally using the names of the things from the myths. That's the problem.
Did you check the wiki?
I know. I studied these.
I think it's just a mistake.
I love Greek and Norse mythology.
I think it's intentional.
It's intentional and it's horrible. So that's my take.
The only other thing I want to say is I do think I'm not a massive fan of the art style.
Okay.
But that might change.
I've noticed it.
I don't really like it.
It's kind of changed a little bit from the first one. It looks a bit more cartoonish. Even though cartoonish is not, I don't know the best word to use.
To me, like it's art style.
I didn't really like the look of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, whatever. The only other game I want to talk about regarding Nintendo is Fire Emblem Warriors. We finally got to see gameplay of this game about freaking time, because this could be a big one. This is a spin-off from Fire Emblem, a pretty big franchise of Nintendo. Nintendo is keeping that close to their hearts for the most part, and as of right now, it's looking pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's skipping, you can see some glitches, its presentation isn't that great, the backgrounds aren't too fantastic, and the music is very unmemorable. But given the combat and everything else, it looks pretty damn promising. If they can make it look as good as Hyrule Warriors, they're in for a shoe-in. The only thing I have to say is I really hope that they add some of my favourite characters into the game for the most part, because we've only seen like 5. I mean, it's good that we've got original characters, but we've only seen like fan favourites being like Chrom and Marth and Corrin, Xander, and...
Was Ike in it?
No, he will be in it, of course.
But,
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Hyrule Warriors, it took a long time for them to put Skull Kid in, and he's my favourite.
Yeah, I mean...
So,
I mean, they need... Because right now everyone uses a sword. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, there are people who don't just use swords in Fire Emblem, and I mean, you could put in a certain person who turns into a certain thing.
Yeah.
Or a certain person who uses a certain kind of tome. Stuff like that. I mean, it's a bit weird that it's just like female Corrin, but then again, there aren't too many female main characters.
Yeah.
The main character in Echoes is female, but you'd have to put both in to some extent. I would like to see some characters from that game be in there too, because no one cares about that game, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. But I just hope it improves, because right now it's looking really rough. Granted, then I think they said 2018, so I don't expect it to look this bad, and if it does, I'll be upset.
Said actually it's fall 2017, so autumn.
Oh, okay.
So that's quite soon, actually.
Yeah, it's like October, November time, so...
August, October, November.
We'll see. Right, we've got the last kind of stuff, the non-conference reveals. We're doing pretty good on time for the most part, kind of. I mean, kind of about to hit the 2-hour mark, but we'll be good. If you stuck with us long enough, props to you. Non-conference reveals and trailers, anything that wasn't necessarily shown at the conference, anything that was just kind of there for the most part.
I have one, and that's because I was actively looking for this one.
Okay.
Vampire, or Vampire, however.
They say Vampire.
Yeah. They showed some gameplay of it, a bit more, and I'm happy. It looks cool. You've got some of the dialogue systems similar to like BioWare games, which is fine. The animation isn't finished, and they actually said that. Said the animation isn't finished yet. Yeah. And even some of the combat, it looks really cool. You've got your stamina bar, your magic, and your health, and it's balanced properly. And there are sub-bosses. It's cool.
What I'm going to say about this game is when I watched the gameplay trailer, I fell asleep.
Really? Damn.
I'm not saying the game is boring. It's just I couldn't get into it.
Fair enough.
It put me to sleep. And literally I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I fell asleep.
Okay.
Don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I got to the point where he was fighting people, and then I fell asleep.
Sleeping there?
Not on my floor, no.
No, not on the desk.
Like at the desk.
No, I was lying down on my bed.
Oh, okay.
And then I just fell asleep. It happens sometimes. I think it happened when I was watching one of the reviewers' viewer called Linkara's videos.
Oh wow!
I remember I fell asleep during one of the longer ones, and it was over, and I was like, oh.
Okay.
But that's not a detriment. I think the game looks fine.
I'm very excited for this, and I really hope Donut to do well.
You have every right to be. It definitely is an interesting game. I mean, the voice acting was a bit spotty with some characters, but whatever. Some American actors find it very hard to do British accents, and British people find it very hard to do British accents.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's true. Yeah.
The thing that caught me off guard at one point, so they're talking about this older woman who's like dead or something. Her name's Harriet Jones, and I just thought the Prime Minister from Doctor Who is dead. You what? Because it's the same name, Harriet Jones. Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. Maybe that is a reference, maybe.
Possibly.
Who knows? Maybe something to do with Doctor Who, and Doctor Who's like, oh my god, vampire infestation.
Yeah, but that just threw me off, and I thought it was funny.
Fair enough.
That's all I have.
So moving on to Ferret. Anything else that you saw from E3 that you want to talk about? No?
Nah. Just a lovely cringe moment.
Oh, you were mainly there for the cringe.
There
was a few good moments.
That's what kept me interested the most.
What about the shouty man in yellow?
I loved him as well.
I can't even remember what he was for the game, but he was just...
The video of the episode is going to be, just in case I forget to say, is going to be a cringe compilation of some kind regarding everything that was just so cringy about E3.
Yeah.
I guess I have 3 games I want to quickly talk about. So the first one is Fortnite.
Okay.
Oh my god, this game still exists. Holy crap.
I can't remember this game.
Most people can't. It was a game that had a pretty awesome trailer. It was basically a tower defense multiplayer game where you had to defend yourself against monsters during the nighttime. Fortnite.
I think I remember seeing it this year, but I can't remember anything.
It's completely changed so many times, and it's finally kind of coming out. It's coming out this year, I believe, but next year it's going free to play.
Okay.
It's a weird thing with like microtransactions and all that kind of stuff, but at least it's going free to play next year. So whatever, it still looks pretty fun. I like it's like a combination of Sunset Overdrive in terms of its style and color and sense of humor to some extent, and Orcs Must Die, if anyone's ever played that game before, which is a build and defend yourself kind of thing, kind of game. It looks pretty good. I like the fact that it's micromanagement as well. So you really got to think about your resources, and you really got to put together this tower, and you really got to work together. And someone's taking out my turret, got to go over there, build some more stuff, find some scavenge. I'm looking forward to it. It is, I believe, coming to PS4, so hopefully it does find an audience, and hopefully it has a dedicated enough fan base. The next game I want to talk about is probably one of my most anticipated games of 2017, and that's going to be Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom.
Didn't they show that on Nintendo? I swear they showed it. No, or Sony, I think. Didn't they show it at Sony's?
I don't think they did, because I don't think there was any. I didn't see any significant trailer regarding it. It just kind of turned up, and I didn't expect they would even talk about it because it's coming out December.
Yeah, they showed it at Sony's.
Well, I didn't see that at all, and I wasn't, like I said, because Sony was boring.
They showed it right after Undertale, if my notes are correct.
Nah, I didn't see it. I mean, I knew it was going to be there. I just didn't think Sony cared about it anymore. I couldn't be happy with this game for the most part. It could be a perfect sequel, and perfect sequel that's basically it's the same world, different characters, different stories, and that's what I like with sequels is when they don't just make the same game again. For the most part.
Better gameplay. It looks like
better gameplay.
Like
I really do like the changes they've made. Traversing the hub world, I think making a kind of chibi art style so it's easy to traverse. The combat, having it not be based on
real-time pause, which I hate.
Real-time pause, and there's little characters is kind of a little bit more based on the Tales of series, slightly modier from Zillia onward, which is pretty cool. And I mean, it's looking pretty good. I mean, you can kind of tell it's definitely doing some pretty cool stuff. I mean, the main character, Evan, let me try and remember how the main character is called. It's Evan Pettywhisker Tindledrum. That's his full name because he is like a half cat, half human.
That's really amusing.
Which is a hilariously great name, and also the awesome British voice acting is back.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. As I'm going to be playing the game, he's like, "Oi, we need to go and get the dragon," all that kind of stuff is great.
I just hope Drippy's not in this, otherwise I'm going to punch someone in the face. Drippy. The weird one with the lantern nose.
He shouldn't be.
I wanted to cut its throat every time it popped up.
You know damn well he shouldn't be in the game because...
I still haven't finished it. Every time Drippy pops up, I get bored.
I'm not trying to imply he dies at the end of it. All I'm trying to say is those things aren't in the game.
Okay,
what
good.
He isn't in the game, so he shouldn't be. Although they have said that someone should be returning.
Okay.
And I know what character should be returning. It's the only person who makes sense to return.
Okay.
But they're being very hush-hush about the game for the most part. It's looking really cool. I mean, I can't wait. It looks like a Ghibli film for the most part. It has one of the guys who worked on the Ghibli films, doing the art style and all that. And the only other thing I want to say is the character Tani, the girl who's like a sky pirate.
Okay.
The cape she's wearing, I don't care if it's for girls. I want it. I want that cape.
I'm gonna have to look at what it looks like now.
That needs to be in the pre-order because I want it. I want that cape.
You could get a full outfit from all these pre-orders.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be a super rare collector's edition that sells out and no one can find.
Probably, like the original.
Like the first
book.
one where it had like the spell book and like that thing sold out and you can't find it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. The one quick game I want to mention is there is going to be DLC for Shantae Half Genie Hero, which is going to be Pirate's Quest. Looks pretty good. You're basically playing as Shantae's main arch nemesis. They haven't really shown much of it yet. Only a little bit of gameplay. Can't really speak too much, but hopefully when I finally get the game, I'll be able to play it. So that looks cool. And the final game I want to talk about is kind of two, and that is going to be Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
Real quick with Mania. Mania still looks fantastic. Sorry, we had a bit of a technical difficulty there, which you guys won't hear or see. It still looks fantastic. My only worry is there going to be an equal amount of original stages to returning stages? We've only seen 2 original stages, and that is slightly worrying because I've seen 4 returning stages. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever, but I just kind of want more returning stages because the newest stage they showed off, which is the one that takes place in Saloon. Apparently, that was originally meant to be in Sonic 2, but one of because the game is almost fan created, like people who actually made like Sonic fan mods and all that kind of stuff are pretty much making this game.
Yeah, Taxman and Stealth.
Yes, those are 2 of the guys. Even the guy who made the freaking like sketch trailer worked on like some stuff. He worked on the Sonic comics, and now he did the trailer for this. Like a lot of love is going into these 2 Sonic games from the fans for the fans. Which, if this pays off for Sega, props to them. Real quick with that stage, the saloon bar, whatever it's called. It was originally going to be in 2, and the guy who's one of the people in charge of it has been trying for so long to actually remake it and get it in the game because he made the ports on the phone of Sonic 1 to 3. And he finally just remade the game, basically. He remade the stage, which is awesome. So we're getting a little bit more Sonic history. Even in Studopolis, the stage, the van that you teleport from, that's a reference to previous Sega and Sonic games. So that's a very hardcore reference, which is very interesting. I think it's Hornet, I believe is what it's called, but whatever. Sonic Forces. Yeah. Really, really happy with this game. Really remix. I really like what's going on with it. I like the gameplay. I like how fast it is. This game looks fast. And that shocked me because they slowed the gameplay down in the trailer.
I have something I want to say. Almost every time during that, a character started talking and it was getting on my nerves.
Yeah, that is a bit worrying.
Silver kept talking and it's like, no, shut up, Silver, I'm playing. And then he just kept coming back. It's like, no,
I'm guessing by story events and how, if just piecing things together, that's early in the game.
I'm hoping
they don't return. I think the only time we're going to hear his stupid friends talking is the rivals. Okay. Because we see Shadow is back and the dumb one from Sonic Worlds, and there's some new robot which looks kind of dumb because half of his face is gone, and I'm like, whoa, you already lost. So,
but it's supposed to show he's cool.
No, he lost his eye. Why has no one repaired that?
But he's cool, damn it.
Why has no one repaired his eye? What significant purpose is that? Yeah, you can control time, space, and matter, but why haven't you fixed your eye?
Because he wants to look intimidating.
You're clearly as powerful as Metal Sonic. Don't tell Sega I told you that, because I know what's going on in this game.
No, Metal Sonic's better.
Okay, we'll see. And I mean, I just really weird design for the most part. It's bizarre, but really looking forward to it. I like the fact that they're really remixing it. They've got like I mean, you're doing the first boss from the first game, the one with the spike ball, and then it goes to the Dragoon, which is like the final boss of one of the other games, and then like the customizable character is like running away from a crab robot, which is walking sideways towards you, which is great, and stuff like that. And even the fan made character has animation to it, so the character actually has more personality to them, which is great. Can't wait for this game. Like I said, if Sega can pull this off, big bucks for them, because Mania is for the old school guys. Forces is for everyone, mostly the kids, because kids fucking love Sonic.
And I can't wait to make Sonic Chew. It's going to be the best character.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sonic 2 is going to be amazing.
Let's not go there because this podcast is
I wanted to mention
already long enough.
Christian
Oh,
helping develop. But let's
Let's move on to our final section. That's going to be the questions. This is the final stuff. So we're going to jump straight into it. Best game of the show for you.
Okay.
For you, Ace.
XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Because, oh my god, this is so good, it's better than any other game. I was so hyped, so happy. Genuinely put smiles on my face for minutes on end, and that hasn't happened in a while. So, yeah. Usually I'm a very dour bastard. This was good. I love it.
Ferret, your game of the show.
Well, if you guys know me, which you don't, it's
Wow, that coldness.
I just wanted to bring back an old reference. From like the first podcast. It's Monster Hunter
World.
World, of course. Nothing needs to.
Nothing needs to be said.
It's true.
Fair enough. I think this moves to me. So this was kind of tricky. It was really between 3 games, and I really had to narrow it down. And it took me a while to kind of narrow it down, but I think, given what I look for in a game, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus.
Okay.
This game is, because I saw the most of it, I understood everything about it. Some of the other games, Ni no Kuni was a runner-up, and Mario Odyssey was a runner-up. But I think I know 100% what I'm getting with The New Colossus, and I'm really pleased with that. So I want to give it to that for the most part. Moving on to the next question. Worst game of the show?
This is going to be a tough one because there was quite a lot of just rubbish. So it's more like one that I really just dislike, or one that I think was... I mean, if it's something just being remastered or done, and I choose that.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the one that ended the PC conference, okay? Age of Empires Definitive Edition. It was just like, why are you saving it for the last thing? You kind of ruin the whole PC stuff by just saying that's the last thing. It's like,
there's a new Age of Empires.
And one more
Definitive
thing.
Edition.
Oh,
yeah, it's just the first one again. But all these extra, and you're like, no, fuck off. Come on, do a new one.
I guess that's on me.
Yeah.
Now go to a bit of a shock. Mario Plus. What's it called
Rabbids.
again? Rabbids. Yeah,
Kingdom Battle.
I mean, it looks nice, but it's just, it doesn't appeal to me just because it's not XCOM, it's not Mario. It's not.
There's a disconnect for you personally.
Yeah,
in some sense.
It's like,
You'd rather play XCOM than Mario, and Mario than XCOM. I get what you mean.
Yeah. It just seems a bit redundant to play, but yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
No surprise to me. It Shadow of the Colossus PS4.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Exactly.
It stands for everything that's wrong with Sony in the gaming industry right now. Lack of creativity and just pissing away money. Simply put. Right, the big one. Who won E3 2017, aka Best Conference? Who are we going to give Best Conference to?
So is this in terms of just entertainment or
It's
games?
in terms of who you think won E3. Who delivered the best conference for you? Who had the most for you? Who put on the best show? Who had everything? Who was the clear winner of E3?
If I had to say games, it would be Nintendo. But if I had to say pure entertainment, Devolver Digital, because damn, that was fun. So, yeah, I'm split. I can't...
I need one.
Nintendo for the games.
Okay.
They had a whole lot of exclusives and it was really cool.
Okay.
Now, this would have gone to Nintendo if Sony didn't have Monster Hunter World. Just because
Don't bias.
I've been waiting for another Monster Hunter game, but an actual it's too hard to explain in words. I'm very sorry about this. It's just, if you're a hardcore Monster fan who's played from the first game, you will understand the joy that I feel of having it. It's like someone gets a new Persona game announced. It's basically, it's so rare that you're just beyond excited.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's Sony for me.
Once again, it was kind of a hard tie because I kind of had to like scratch people off based on what they had. So obviously EA was out of the question. Microsoft had to get scratched out because they really didn't have that much, and then it kind of came down to like the three like bigger ones, and I had to scratch out Sony because it was too much VR, and then it just came down to Ubisoft and Nintendo for the most part. And it was really tricky. And I'm going to go with Ubisoft simply because I think they had the most variety in terms of games for everyone. They had by far one of the smallest shows and the most concentrated, and you can really feel the actual love for gaming there for the most part. And their one felt the most genuine. It didn't feel like businessmen not putting on business suits and talking to people. It felt like, hey, we're a bunch of game developers and we're going to make games, and here's some of the games. We hope you like it because we work really hard. That's what it felt like to me. So that's why I think Ubisoft wins it. And they just had games. There's no bullshit other than that one with like the Switch and the toys. But like there was no real bullshit for the most part. They had the least bullshit. And then of course we're gonna end on Worst Conference. I think it's a unanimous decision for the most part.
I've got two, and I'm unsure because both of them had a good game. Both of them had a really good one, and the two are Bethesda and Sony.
Oh, okay.
Because they were both really shit.
Yeah.
Like, both of them decided to focus so much on VR that it was horrible.
Which alienates its audience so hard.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think this is the problem. I'm not sure. Sony, I don't know, it kind of had the worse games, but it also had some of the better ones because it had both, like, Monster Hunter World and Spider-Man. Well, Bethesda really only had Wolfenstein. So I'm probably going to have to go for Bethesda. Because that was pretty poor.
Completely understandable.
I'm going to go for Bethesda just because the upset of not the anticipation towards Bethesda producing like just some news on a new Elder Scrolls game and to find out that they're doing more bollocks with Skyrim, it's just incredibly, it's like a slap to the face. And the way they're operating now is just becoming, they're just turning into an EA. It's horrible how Bethesda's turning.
That's the thing. I was laughing at all the people saying, "Why isn't there a new Elder Scrolls?" being salty, and I found it so amusing. It's just like, of course they're not. They're not.
I mean, we all expected it, but
I did. I knew they weren't.
I mean, we all expected they weren't going to release any information. But just to hear more about Skyrim, if they had just ignored Skyrim, just focused on some of the games that they just announced already, they would have been really fine with me. But just because of that, I'm out of that.
Understandable. I'm gonna give it to EA because they didn't even try.
Fair enough.
I don't even know why they bothered. They had nothing. They didn't even try.
They had Star Wars Battlefront.
But Star Wars is nothing. We don't lie to yourself, Ace, Ferret fans. You know damn well that game is already dead.
I already know. You don't need to tell me.
So saying,
I'm still gonna play it on my own.
Trying to say that's like one shining highlight is no. They weren't entertaining. They weren't interesting. There was nothing to it. I don't know why they bothered. They had nothing. And it's not just a case of anything interesting. You tell me, is anyone screaming about anything that happened at EA's press conference? No.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, people are screaming about that.
No, it's because Star Wars fans are dumb, and I'm just going to say it straight up. They'll buy anything if it has Star Wars logo. If my arse had the tattoo of Star Wars, they would probably like that too. And that's just how far they go.
Probably. But I am interested in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm not a dumb Star Wars fan. Because there are shitloads of Star Wars shit I don't care about.
Good.
So.
Maybe true, but if this game makes big bucks, I'm going to be very disappointed in people. But then again,
it will make big bucks. Come on.
I know how dumb these people are.
Oh, you plays Darth Vader in this game.
Oh god, yeah.
Remember Darth Vader?
I just want
No,
to
you don't, because you weren't born then, you stupid child.
I just want to play as the Stormtroopers and shoot people again. It's great.
It sucks that your mum and dad forced this pop culture that's gone ruined onto you. Shame you'll never know what sci-fi is or good taste is.
Wow, okay. I'm going to take this personal now.
Well, simply put, it's fucking disgusting. Like, Star Wars is really crippled society and pop culture big time because it's just a bunch of lackluster trash and people just praising it for absolutely doing nothing.
I thought you were saying all of Star Wars is trash.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying
no,
that.
no,
I was like,
no.
whoa.
No, I'm talking about Star Wars now.
Modern Star Wars.
Yes, of
okay.
course.
Oh, yeah,
Fair
pretty
enough.
much.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Star Wars did a lot of good things for
Yeah.
industry, sci-fi, and that kind of stuff. It's just a shame they don't anymore.
But now, now
And this
I get
game
it.
included, unfortunately.
It's fair enough.
Fair enough.
But that's the way it goes. That's why I have to give EA that for the most part because and also EA is just evil.
Yeah.
Simply put. Oh my god, you can kind of sigh of relief now. Podcast is finally done in a somewhat record time for the most part, depending on how the final edit sounds. Anything else we need to add
I think
before we kind of wrap it up?
we need a like Frodo Sam it's over moment because that's how it feels getting through it all. It's good.
It's done. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's
that's
been somewhat exhausting. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun listening to this. Hopefully you guys have got your opinions on things. Hopefully we talked about games you never heard of. Hopefully you've been introduced to some. Hopefully you guys are maybe second guessing some of the games you were hyped for, maybe. No, we're joking. Have your own opinion for the most part. And hopefully you guys will buy some of these games for the most part because hopefully they'll be good.
Yeah.
Probably won't, but hopefully they'll be good.
And we spent the whole thing without talking about Assassin's Creed Origins. It's great.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly. And that's, it's all said and done. I don't think there's anything else we need to add to this.
No.
Thank you guys for joining us once again. If this is the first podcast you've listened to under the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, we do a general one, which is every fortnight, which we talk about gaming sometimes, and mostly filming and other kinds of stuff. So if you guys want to hear a slightly shortened version of said podcast about more topical and slightly more relevant news, subscribe to the channel, listen to the next podcast, do whatever. There should be a download link for this podcast in the description, so if you are subscribed you'll see that. You don't even click on the video, just get that download link straight away. There probably won't be links to every trailer because the thinking back to it now, that's probably going to be a big file for people to have to download, so let's not do that. We're gonna put a list somewhere in the description, and I think you guys should be able to find everything because not everyone's into everything, and simple Google search. I mean, I imagine most people listen to this podcast with a tab open or while they're jogging for the most part. So,
and if you want to tell us what your E3 list is, message us at raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com.
that is the podcast and channel email address. So definitely do so. Tell us how much we are wrong about Naughty Dog. I'd love to hear it for the most part. Fun. Nothing else? No?
I think that's all.
No, I think we've covered everything.
Cool. I guess I'll end this podcast like I always do by saying I was the Angry Raccoon.
I was Ferret.
I am Ace.
And we will see you possibly next year in 2018 for the E3 special or on the next podcast.
Sorry. We were trying to do a synchronized thing, but it went for too long.
Counted up and I got confused.
Off to his son.
Alright, we'll catch you later, guys. Okay, just make sure you just did.
Yeah, sorry, no, I was just adjusting myself.
Okay. You're just about to start.
Literally, just adjusted myself. Silence. It was like a beat in comedy.